What is up, adventurers? How are you? Wow, it has been just forever and a day since we've actually streamed a flight on this very channel. That's crazy. It's been 12 days, almost 2 weeks, guys. Why is that? Well, let's think about it. Let's backtrace. The most recent Wednesday, what did we do in the the most recent Wednesday? Hold on, no, today's Wednesday. So the most recent Monday was our second installment of the Friday Night Hotspot FNO show. That's over on the VATUSA Twitch, VATSIM USA, twitch.tv/VATSIM USA. So that was our second one of those this past Monday. We had a great panel discussion with representatives from Jacksonville, Houston, and Albuquerque, followed by a demo flight in this very airplane, mind you, the working title CJ4, that we flew from Phoenix over to Houston in a preview of this coming week's Friday Night Ops event, which we will not be flying in for reasons which I will get into in just a moment. Now, however, we were in the process of, I think early on we kind of realized that there had been a technical glitch, and we just now got that uploaded to YouTube. It is missing the panel discussion portion, so you only have the demo flight there, unfortunately. Which is, it's really sad because it was a really awesome panel discussion. I know there were a few dozen of you that did catch it live on VATSIM USA, twitch.tv/VATSIM USA, the VATUSA Twitch feed. So those of you who were able to see it, you did get a nice treat, a really well done discussion with some friends, like I said, from the 3 ARTCCs. We had 4 representatives all told from the 3 ARTCCs, which are hosting the upcoming Friday Night Ops event this coming Friday, the Not So Scary FNO, which is being hosted by Jacksonville, assisted by Houston and Albuquerque, and featuring Orlando, Jacksonville, Houston, San Antonio, El Paso, and Phoenix, roughly east to west there, although I guess Jacksonville's probably a little further east than Orlando. But Orlando tends to be Jacksonville's kind of featured field most of the time, it seems, anyway. So anyway, so a great panel discussion. We had Bryn Brody, the air traffic manager from Jacksonville. We had Michael LaRoche, the event coordinator out of Houston. And then we had both Ryan Holzhauer, the event coordinator, and then we had Jeremy Werderman, the deputy air traffic manager over at Albuquerque, and a fantastic panel discussion, which, like I said, it's just tragic. It's truly tragic and heartbreaking that the panel discussion portion didn't get saved, which I can only blame myself for, but we've taken some measures to prevent that from happening again. So we hopefully won't run into that similar situation. The Friday Night Hotspot FNO preview is something that we will be doing over on VATUSA's Twitch anytime there is a Friday Night Ops event coming up on the calendar. And of course, ever since COVID, we don't do those every week because they involve at least 3 facilities and at least 3 featured fields. So they are collaborative, and just to avoid staff burnout and all that sort of thing, and just the amount of work that goes into an FNO these days, as opposed to when it used to be just a single field event. They do those roughly every other week. Now, that's not hard and fast, but they do those pretty much once every other week. By the way, before we go on too much further, I am going to do a lot more talking tonight prior to getting flying. So the reason for that is we're going to be doing some of Boston Virtual ARTCC's Wings Over New England training flights. We'll talk more about why I actually need the ATC coverage in just a bit, and we're scheduled to have some, but just a little bit later on tonight. So I'm going to yammer on just a little bit longer, if that's okay. Anyway, so we did that show this past Monday. The Friday before was the Friday Night Ops B&O Railroad FNO, in which we were able to hop onto DCA Tower. So we did stream on the Slant Alpha channel, but it was not a flight. We were at Reagan National Airport's tower cab that night, even though Dulles was the featured field. Reagan was picking up some overflow traffic. It was kind of a fairly chill night, actually. It did get busy there in the middle. Dulles got a decent amount of traffic, and Reagan, like I said, got kind of a secondary amount, and we had fun over there. Just me for the most part. We did have a ground controller pop in for a little bit, but it was just me working the tower cab for the most part, and it, like I said, a moderate amount of traffic and a good night to chill and talk about air traffic control stuff. So that was this past Friday. The Wednesday before that, a week ago, tonight, was the first installment of the Friday Night Hotspot FNO preview. And that one was a pre-recorded and edited panel discussion followed by a live demo flight. So again, we were doing a flight in this very aircraft, but again, that was on VATUSA's channel. The Monday before that, I had taken off the stream because I needed that extra time to edit together that discussion, which turned out to be a much bigger project than I had anticipated. So the Friday before that, which is going back to the 15th of October, that was the last flight that we did on this channel, and that was the Down Under FNO, the Friday night ops that was actually a Saturday morning ops down in Australia. So that's the last time we actually flew for you on this channel. The last time we flew Slant Alpha on this channel was actually, I guess, the stream before that, which I think was our Douglas Overseas event, or episode. And then the next time we're flying Slant Alpha again is going to be this coming Monday, November 1st, which is our Bush League Backcountry Fly-In Series 2nd anniversary, which we're still awaiting itinerary details for over at downwindsim.com. But a low and slow, probably VFR-focused event on Monday, November 1st. All right. Anyway. Good to have you back, says Undone. Well, thank you very much. And I've been here, but just been all over as far as Twitch is concerned. And like I said, I did some ATC stuff mixed in there as well. All right, for tonight's itinerary, we are, you know what? I'll tell you what, before we even get into that, because I touched on that already, couple of other cool things coming up on the stream that I want to mention. And if you're new to the stream, you may not know, but you'll soon find out that we have 2 ongoing raffles that we do every month on this channel, and our next day to select our winners. Toward the end of every month, we pick a winner from both of those raffles, and the next one is going to be Saturday, October the 30th. So that's this coming Saturday. We're going to be off of our normal schedule this Friday night. All right, so this is the last 7 p.m. stream that we're going to do until next week. Friday night we're off. Saturday morning, 6:45 a.m. Eastern Time, we are going to be controlling the tower cab at Dulles International Airport for VATSIM Cross the Pond. Cross the Pond eastbound, Dulles was one of the many featured departure fields in that event. The big semi-annual signature VATSIM event, I guess you can call it, that takes place this Saturday, October the 30th. Folks are departing from a half dozen departure fields and arriving at half dozen departure fields in Europe, crossing the North Atlantic. Dulles International is hosting, I think, about 130 of the slotted departures for that event, if I remember the numbers correctly that were shared with us in a pre-briefing release that was given to those of us who are controlling for that event. So, So yes, indeed, we will be controlling tower that morning, Saturday morning, starting at 6:45 Eastern Time, and probably up until about 10:30 Eastern Time. Probably got a little bit of a hard stop that morning. I'm kind of curious, is that a VATSIM player over there? Hold on one second, guys. Because we do occasionally see static traffic taxi around, and they kind of fall over, and they do this like really slow turnaround on the ramp. This is a little bit more interesting. I think if we look on VATSPY, I still think that I am the only one here at Lebanon as far as the network is concerned. So yeah, that is Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 static traffic. I mean, they do have some folks that move around on the ground even when you're the only one here. And yeah, he's in a little bit of trouble, but I don't know. Anyway. I was just hoping it wasn't like a stream sniper, like somebody who was trying to show off and distract us, but no, it's just Flight Sim 2020 being Flight Sim 2020. Forbes said, I saw the same exact thing in Hawaii just now. And he's getting vicious over there. Alright, well, we'll change the camera angle so that he's not too distracting. How's that? There we go. Anyway. So Saturday the 30th, this upcoming Saturday, bright and early. So we'll launch a good number of the slotted departures for across the pond out of Dulles. We're going to have the tower view up and running just like we do on most of our ATC streams, so you'll be able to watch the departures launch up out of Dulles, heading across the North Atlantic to their destinations overseas, and so that'll be 6:45 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. That's also the day that we're going to choose our 2 raffle winners, which is the other thing I was just about to say, which is the Alphabets Points raffle is raffle number 1 that we do on this channel. And those of you who are new to the stream, if you have a moment to look at the chat panel there, you got the Alphabets serial icon down there at the bottom. It's what we call our Twitch channel points on this channel, is our Alphabets Points. And a little button that tells you how many of those you have. If you should amass 1,000 of those, you can cash those in for 1 entry into that Alphabets raffle. If you get up to the point where you've got 5,000, cash those in for 6 entries for the price of 5 into that monthly raffle. And again, we'll select that during our stream on Saturday morning. That's raffle number 1. Raffle number 2, you get an automatic entry into, if you are the closest predictor to the vertical descent rate at the moment our wheels touch during any of our on-stream landings. So tonight you'll have 2 additional opportunities to get in on the October landing rate raffle. As we touch down, we have a stats pop-up window that comes up off screen, and normally once I get parked, I'll show you the result. The closest predictor above or below is the one who gets an automatic entry into that second raffle. The winner, each of the 2 winners of our on-stream raffles, do I have it? Where is it? There we go. The Slant Alpha Prize Vault. Each of the 2 winners gets their choice of any one item from this list, which is a broad selection of Slant Alpha merchandise. The black t-shirt, the white t-shirt with the black trim, or the white t-shirt with the Slant Alpha logo on front. We got the white ball cap, we got the mouse pad, we got the traditional or tapered coffee mug, and we got the Slant Alpha tote bag. If you prefer not to choose any of my crap, that's fine. If you really have no connection with me whatsoever other than, hey, I want to raffle on some random Twitch channel, you don't want my crap as a result, you are more than welcome to choose instead a $25 Amazon card or a $25 xplane.org store card. So those are available as well. Are you guys seeing my mouse cursor? Okay, yeah, I had deselected mouse cursor capture at some point. I just want to make sure I did turn that back on. That looks like I have. Okay, good. Good fixings to stop then. Aiden, the Micro Light Pilot. Boy, that's a mouthful. Aiden, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you. Yeah, he is going to get dizzy. I was getting dizzy just looking at him. That's why I had to get him off screen. But Aiden, welcome to the stream, man. Appreciate having you here. And, of course, our good friend, Good Fixins, stopping in as well. Again, we are doing flights number 20 and 21 of the Boston Virtual ARTCC Wings Over New England flights. This is a series of 6 VFR and 24 IFR training flights that are published on Boston Virtual ARTCC's website. They're pretty much self-study, meaning that you can read through the training material that is published on the website. Then you get on to VATSIM and perform them anytime Boston is staffed, which right now they are not, but they do have scheduled staffing for about a half an hour from now. So that's why I'm kind of taking my time and talking through all this cool stuff that's coming up on the stream. Oh, I got one more thing to talk about as far as cool stuff that's coming up on the stream, too. So a lot of these we have done without ATC, and the reason for that is it's a series that I've actually gone through before, and I actually have credit for the vast majority of these flights already because I've completed them before. Now, ever since last August, they have rebranded and added a few flights to that program. Flights 20, 21, 22, and 23 are all brand new to the program, and tonight we're doing 20 and 21, so I need the ATC coverage tonight. A couple of other nights we've done this without ATC coverage. I basically have just kind of talked through what we would expect as the ATC calls, so hopefully those of you who have been watching that series along have been have found that useful and found that valuable, even, you know, like I said, when we haven't had live ATC coverage on the network. So basically the way these work, as I was starting to say, is you read through the training material, you get on the VATSIM network when Boston is staffed. Some flights you need center coverage, others you can just have like a certain approach controller. And then I think in one case at least, or maybe one or more of the VFRs, you only need a tower controller because it's staying local within one tower's airspace. But anyway, you need ATC coverage for whatever portion of airspace you're going to be in. And they judge your performance not based on anything they're seeing in the cockpit, because they're not watching your cockpit. They are watching just what's on their scope as far as your altitude, direction, speed, and your adherence to the procedure that you are flying. So they judge your pass or fail based on what they're seeing on their scope, and if you fly the procedure accurately enough, then they call it a pass. And at the very end, they do have on their website a listing of who has passed what, and you can kind of see there's a listing of the folks who have passed all 30 of these flights. Again, it's 6 VFR and 24 IFR flights. And the beauty of it is that in addition to there's two things that makes this series really awesome, Number one is that the deeper you get into it, the more complicated the procedures get. So each one gets successively more complicated and more advanced. So the further you get in, you're building upon skills and knowledge that you picked up in earlier flights. So by the end, you have a pretty, not real world equivalent, but you have a pretty solid understanding of basic IFR procedure as it pertains to flying on VATSIM. There's really not too many IFR procedures you could be challenged with that you wouldn't have covered at some point in this series. There's a couple, but not many. So by the time you complete the series, pretty comprehensive IFR knowledge for flying on VATSIM. The other cool thing is that each flight starts where the last one ended, so you can do them in a continuous succession, not have to teleport at all, and by the end you have gotten a very, very comprehensive tour of the Boston Virtual ARTCC airspace. Matter of fact, if we go to just the wings home, you see kind of a nice zigzag here of all the little stops that you make along the way. So a very nice comprehensive tour of that. Let's see if I can go to where it shows you pilot ratings. Okay, there you go. So here's a list of those who have completed the entire program. Is up top here. And then each individual and what they've accomplished is down here. And you can see, like I said, I've been through this entire program before, so all these I already had. Don't mind saying that that's me, because you guys know who I am. So there's your 6 VFR flights, and then here's the 4 that we don't have. That, like I said, they added. So what used to be 20 became 24. So they added a new 20, 21, 22, and 23 here. So those are what we need: 20, 21, 22, and 23. And so tonight is supposed to be these 2. And so we're kind of just stalling a little bit as I explain through what all these are. And it looks like, we are supposed to have, if they are able to adhere to the schedule, which they don't always, but they normally stick pretty close, we're supposed to have some center coverage coming on in about a half an hour. So there's 2 more topics I'm going to do. One, I'm going to talk to you about the 2,000 follower extravaganza that we're going to get involved in here on November the 8th, because I do feel like I have a really kind of a cool stream planned for you on November the 8th to celebrate the fact that we recently crested 2,000 followers. We got some giveaways, and we got some other special stuff going on with that. I'll tell you in just a moment. The other thing is we'll go ahead and start our briefing for Wings 20. And again, it's going to take me some time to kind of talk you through that as far as the different concepts that are contained within the Wings 20 flight. Zax3 says, hey, I used your VFR Wings videos to get an understanding of each flight. Very, very cool. I'm glad that you found them useful, and appreciate you stopping by the stream or stopping back by the stream. I know I've seen you here before, but yeah, I'm very glad that you found them useful and are enjoying the series. All right, we've got 3 more streams to go. We got 2021 tonight. 22, I think, is going to be a stream by itself. It's a little bit of a longer one. And then, and by the way, this will be the last stream that we do in the working title CJ4 for this series. the remainder, 22, 23, and 24, all go back to kind of more general aviation piston type flying. So we'll go back to the Mooney ovation for 22, 23, and 24. But we'll do 20 and 21 tonight in the CJ4. 22 will be by itself in that Mooney, and then 23 and 24 will be by themselves also in the Mooney. All right. Well, let's talk real quick. Yes, fluffed is indeed, yeah, you're correct. 514 Delta Victor is the call sign that I use for general aviation flying. Let's talk about November the 8th, guys. We recently crested 2,000 followers on this channel. As a matter of fact, the day that I crested 2,000 followers was a marathon stream that we did in the Douglas DC-6. Or no, it was in the 727. That's right. We started in Indianapolis. We flew to Denver, then Los Angeles, and then back out to Honolulu, Hawaii. And it didn't end terribly well, although we put it on the ground okay. It wasn't the best landing in Honolulu. Felt like Denver and Los Angeles went fairly well. But on that marathon stream, I got follow there from Fluff. Thank you very much, and welcome to the channel. On that marathon stream, we officially crested 2,000 followers for the channel, which is amazing. And then we just picked up another one. Amazing stuff, and so we've been trying to kick around ideas ever since then for a 2,000 follower giveaway night. Well, we're going to make it a giveaway day and night. We're going to do another marathon stream to celebrate that milestone, and that stream is going to take place on November the 8th. That was a subscription. Oh, my bad. Yep, you're correct. That was a Prime sub. Thank you very much for that subscription. Fluffed it. As a matter of fact, we were talking about the raffles and the prizes a little bit ago. It's the financial support of the stream that allows us to supply all those prizes. I don't do this as a living or even as a side income. So pretty much all of the income we get from the stream goes right back into the stream in the form of those raffles and other giveaways. So, talking about giveaways, November the 8th. So VATSIM has an annual charity event that is called World Flight. And it is attended by about a dozen teams around the world, a dozen official teams. What it is a week-long series of flights, and it's non-stop. 1 week, non-stop. The dozen teams that participate, and this is SimFest UK, so this is the United Kingdom's team. But there's teams from Australia. I think the event originated in Australia. But there's a U.S. team, there's a couple of Australian teams, I'm pretty sure. There's a U.K. team, and there's teams from really all over the world. But each of the teams does this in a full-scale airline cockpit replica that they fly on the VATSIM network. It is 42 legs this year. It's normally between 40 and 50 legs. 42 legs this year. This is the full itinerary down below. Starts and ends in Sydney. And like I said, each of the dozen teams, they fly non-stop. Now each team has about 4 crews, 3 or 4 crews. So the 3 or 4 crews rotate so that the crews are not flying 168 hours non-stop. Each crew, does get a break and gets a rest, and they get appropriate rest time. So they rotate the crews, and they fly the plane. The pretend plane flies non-stop for a week. From Sydney all the way around to Sydney again. And each of the teams raises money for their own chosen charity. Some teams have the same charity that they raise money for every year. Some of the other teams raise money for a different charity of their choosing every year. I know that SimFest UK has rotated theirs up a little bit. The Team USA has always been the All Children's Hospital in St. Petersburg, Florida. SimFest UK last year, I think, was raising money for a charity that is that helps combat the problem of mental health and suicide in the United Kingdom, and I know that couple of the Australian teams always benefit the Rural Flying Doctors Program. So all kinds of really cool charities that are supported by World Flight every year. So in the vein of wanting, I was actually going to head down to Florida and participate with Team USA. Now, Team USA this year had to cancel their in-person participation because of COVID travel restrictions. Believe it or not, many of the Team USA members are Canadian. Matter of fact, the main organizer of Team USA is Canadian, so he was not able to fly down due to the continuing COVID travel restrictions. So we're hopeful that Team USA will gather again for the 2022 event. So I decided that Monday the 8th, since I didn't have to take off the entire week, I'm taking off Monday the 8th anyway, and I'm going to fly the 6 legs that come through the contiguous U.S. So I'm going to fly along, and by the way, I say this is a dozen teams participating. If you look on VATSIM, you'll see 50, 60, 70 people flying in this line, because in addition to the actual official teams that fly nonstop for the entire week, pretty much every leg you have several dozen folks flying along. So I'll be one of them for the following 6 legs. 2109 Anchorage. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to miss 2109. It's going to be 2110 Vancouver to San Francisco, 2111 San Francisco to Denver, 12 is Denver to Chicago, 13 Chicago to New York, 14 New York to Jacksonville, and 15 Jacksonville to Acapulco, Mexico. So those 6 legs I'll be flying along. I'm going to be in the Flight Factor 757 for X-Plane 11. Each of our 6 landings will have a giveaway associated, so if you're the closest predictor to the vertical descent rate for any of those 6 landings, you will get one of your choice of the Slant Alpha prize vault. So we'll have 6 giveaways that day. In addition, everybody that donates to the stream that day, 100% of those donations, in the spirit of making it a charitable event, 100% of those donations that I collect on my stream that day for those 6 flights will go to the Animal Allies Rescue Foundation here in Baltimore. It is an all-volunteer program that helps homeless pets be placed with new homes. 2 of our 3 furry co-pilots were placed with us by virtue of AARF. So if I go co-pilots, yeah, those guys. Those guys. So 2 out of the 3 were placed with us by AARF. This one here and this one here were placed with us by Animal Allies Rescue Foundation in Baltimore. Like I said, it's an all-volunteer organization. Actually, since I've got them up, let's do this. AARF Baltimore. Yeah, so there they are. There's their website, guys, and so they are 100% volunteer-run, 501c3 nonprofit based here in Baltimore, and they are a wonderful organization, and we're very pleased to have helped them out a couple times through our adoptions. But everything we collect on Monday the 8th as part of our 2,000 follower extravaganza will be donated to AARF. All right, I think that basically covers it. Oh. We're good, guys. I can stop yammering on and start flying a plane. All right, let me recalculate my times here in my spreadsheet, just because did yammer on a little longer than I intended to. So we'll see how we go with this. All right, back we go, guys. We're back to the Wings IFR flight number 20. Let's take a look at it and see what we're going to be expected to do here. Number 20. All right, we last landed at Lebanon. We're going to Adirondack, which is also called Saranac Lake. Always makes me think of the Sarlacc pit from Star Wars. But no, it's Saranac Lake, a.k.a. Adirondack Regional. And it's the Lake Placid area. There you go. If you were only going to use conventional navigation, you'd be adding a significant distance. Yeah, exactly. Yes, it is a trap. We'd have to add quite a bit of distance to go by only conventional navigation. Thank goodness we are RNAV. Like I said, we're kind of busting the overall theme of the channel to do these handful of RNAV-based flights, but wanted to do them just as most of you would be doing these if you were performing these flights. So I'm not going to do anything silly by trying to do this through conventional navigation. The whole point of this handful of flights in the series is RNAV procedural training, so we're just going to go ahead and do them RNAV. But again, there's not a real good way to navigate direct, except for we are RNAV, and we can navigate direct because we are RNAV. We got to fly at a safe altitude. We don't have an airway minimum en route altitude to protect us, so we'll have to figure out what a safe cruising altitude will be. We are familiar with obstacle departure procedures. We've done those before, and I will remind you how to find them. You can fly any of the available RNAV approaches at Adirondack, but you want to plan your flight so that you can receive a clearance without needing to fly a hold or course reversal. So we'll have to look at the, we have terminal area approaches and then other types of approaches where we can approach and not have to do a course reversal. So pretty much that's it. An IFR flight plan terminating in an initial fix to an RNAV approach at SLK or MVL. Cruising altitude correct for direction and safe altitude considering the underlying terrain. Departs VFR or IFR according with the ODP and navigates on course correctly, executes the RNAV approach, and cancels IFR. Alright, well, let's take a look at it then. So it's pretty much direct, Lebanon to SLK. We know that the airport diagram, we're parked up here. Let's take a look at the, let's go to Sky Vector. Take a look at the weather. We hover over the green dot here. We got the subscription from Friend to All. Thank you very much for...
RNAV is like Bob Dylan playing electric guitar.
Yeah, I know. I know, but this is a valuable training series for those who are flying along with these IFR training flights. So we'll go ahead and just do them the normal RNAV way. So 340 at 7 out of Lebanon. And then what's the wind up at Saranac Lake here is now calm, but it was from the north earlier, so we'll just presume if it picks up again, it's going to be from the north. Same thing down here. It was calm, but now it's from the north. So it looks like most of the wind is coming out of the north today in this area. So we'll depart Lebanon going northbound. That means, well, you know what, there's not really a good way to taxi out to 36 other than back taxiing. So I guess we'll depart runway 7. All right, yeah, so 36 is great for northbound, but we'd have to back taxi this entire length, half of the length of the runway. I'm not going to do that. So we'll, since we're parked up in this area, we'll just depart runway 7. That'll be a nice short taxi for us. So we'll have to see what the ODP departing runway 7 tells us to do. If you go to the... See, Sky Vector does not have, if you hover over this, does not have the obstacle departure procedure. So I like to go to the FAA Digital Terminal Procedures page. FAA DTPP is how you can search it up. And then you type in KLEB. And then if you look at the takeoff minimums here, that's where you get the obstacle departure procedure. Okay, you come to this page here. You have to kind of make sure you're looking at the correct airport. But there we are, Lebanon, New Hampshire, Lebanon Municipal. Runway 7... departure procedure. Climb heading 075 to 2100 before proceeding on course. Okay, easy enough. 075, 2100, we can do that. We are going to be landing north at Adirondack. Like we said, the wind's calm now, but it was out of the north earlier, so we're going to just choose the RNAV runway 5, and we can just file that we're going direct to Genevieve, that's what we'll go with. These are all, oh, we got Shani, we got Mary, we got Genevieve, we got Ingrid. I see a theme. Sky 173 is here. How are you guys? So direct Genevieve is what we'll do. And then there's the airport diagram. We're going to land runway 5, and then it'll be a right-hand turnoff. Okay, so we'll go over all that in detail. But let's go ahead and get it over onto the aircraft and start flying through this stuff. All right. Let's see. Back into the plane we go. And oh man, it got a lot quieter. Let's just go ahead and sync our controls here. Just make sure the last couple of flights I've done in this sim have been in this aircraft now, so I feel like we should be all synced up and ready to go. Yeah, all set. Lovely. All right, let's go ahead and get over to the checklist and start powering it up. The fuel and payload I have set, and by the way, I have put in a fudge factor to account for the fact that we're going to be flying this thing at lower altitude than normal. My planning spreadsheet does not account well for the lower fuel efficiency at lower altitudes, but I think I have put in a fudge factor that will account for that today. So we'll see how good we are at the end with our flight time and fuel estimates. We're going to start with just over 3,200 pounds in the aircraft, and then I like to just set the payload up to just under the max gross. That puts the max gross to 17,110, so we're at 17,074. We'll have to remember that when we get over to the FMC. But just over 3,200 pounds total to start, and that accounts for our 2 flights plus alternates, reserves, and contingencies. We'll go ahead and get the battery switch on. The emergency lights armed, standby display on, avionics go into dispatch, which is a battery saving mode. It turns on one of the screens and one of the sets of radios. We'll initialize the position by popping the GPS point down 1. Nav and logo lights can come on. That lets the folks around us know that people are about to power up the plane. We can set the radio stack. I like to just shut off the COM2 and the nav1 and the nav2, which we don't need, as well as the marker beacon sounds, which we don't need, especially on a nice clear day like today. There we go. We'll go ahead and file our flight plan. Let's go ahead and bring it over here and hit flight plan. We're IFR. We are KLEB going to KSLK. I put in an alternate of Burlington, Vermont, which does have a nice couple of ILS approaches in case we need them. Departure time, we're going to call 8 o'clock Eastern time, which is going to be midnight Zulu time. Time en route for the first leg here are just going to be 2 real short flights, a half hour. 0 hours, 32 minutes. We got a total of 311 in the tanks. Cruise speed is going to be 300 knots today. True airspeed might be 320. Cruise altitude for this first flight. Oh, we didn't talk about that. 8,000. But I'll show you where I came up with that here in just a moment. We are going to be going direct to Genevieve. GNVEV. And they always like you to put the wings IFR 20. Whichever flight you're doing, they like you to put that in their marks. So we'll go ahead and send that. We'll let our controller look at that for just a moment. Oh, we can... I know we already did this through SkyVector, but we'll go ahead and pull it up through the client. 340 at 7, so yeah, we'll take off runway 7. It's fine. Is it better if we take off 7, or is it better if we take off 25? It's about a 90-degree crosswind either way. So we'll just take off on runway 7. 2987, which we'll go ahead and set when we get to that point in the checklist. 2987, and then the temperature's 11, which we can see is down here in the static air temp on the display also. All right, so nothing else we need from that. How did I come up with 8,000? 2 ways, guys. First of all, by looking at SkyVector, you can see that the minimum off-route clearance in this area is 65, 62, 76. So if we're going that way, we're going to be at least, an even-numbered 1,000 altitude. So I went 8,000 there, especially in consideration of the 7.6. The other thing to look at is on the approach that we intend to do. You can see that coming from this direction, it is a 7,600 minimum safe altitude in that quadrant coming to the point Genevieve. And again, if we're coming to Mary, 6,700 coming from this direction, 334. So 6,700, 7,600, really the next highest westbound IFR altitude is 8,000. So those two sources kind of give you an idea of what you need to do from an altitude standpoint. All right, so I think we got that all done. We've got that taken care of, and we have, the other thing we need to do is go ahead and Oh, wait a minute. Yep. So we file flight plan, check the ATIS, set the comm frequency. We can go tune. And 34.7, I think, is usually the Boston frequency. Let's just double check. Probably hear him start chattering here in a minute. Yep. Boston Center 134.7. Give him a click. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get our clearance. Boston Center, Citation 514 Delta Victor's on the ground at Lebanon with the weather. IFR to Adirondack.
November 514 Delta Victor, Boston Center clearance on request. Stand by.
Also Winx 20 if available. On request, but let's see if we can roll through a few checklist items
November
while we're waiting.
514 Delta Victor, wings IFR 20 is approved, and you're cleared to the Adirondack Lake Airport as filed. On departure, maintain 8,000. Departure, this frequency, squawk 4725.
All right, cleared as filed, 8,000, 134.7, and 4725, 514 Delta Victor.
514 Delta Victor, readback correct, runway 36, advised ready to taxi.
We able to take runway 7, 36 is a long back taxi.
514 Delta Victor, affirmative, expect runway 7.
Thank you, we'll call in a few, 514 Delta Victor.
Boston Center, good evening, KLM-619 at 2,300 feet, climbing 5,000.
All right, so we got everything we needed there. Let's go ahead and get the aircraft set up, and then we'll get one of the engines powered up.
370 for KLM-619 Heavy.
Let's go ahead and get the flight plan sent here. We're going to go flight plan KLEB.
Boston Center, Delta 325 is there. If we step away for about 5 minutes.
KSLK, again, Saranac Lake. The route, it's going to be 7. And then arrivals is the RNAV 05 from Genevieve. And that is it. That is the only thing to put in. And we're going, yes, we're going, literally going from runway 7 direct to Genevieve. So we'll brief the approach when we get there, but for right now, everything in the route is fine. Let's go to performance and performance initialization. This is where we need to, and the cruise altitude we selected was 8,000, so we'll pop that in there. This is where we need to tell the plane how heavy we are. I just like to pop 8 passengers. The distribution doesn't matter as long as the total's okay. So 8 passengers, we'll just, whatever per weight it puts there, that's fine. It's going to automatically tell us how much fuel we have, and that gives us 14.8, but we know we're at 17 and change. So what do we need to add? 2,200? Just over 17,000, yep, then we know that's correct. All right, takeoff performance then. The outside air temperature we said was 11. That was also in the METAR, but we can read it right off the screen as the static air temp. And that's the only mandatory entry on that page. So we'll hit next, and then we're given V speeds 110, 111, 119, and 140. So 110 is V1. That means our abort speed. Any problems we encounter before 110, we will abort the takeoff. Any problems we encounter after that, we will take off with them. 111 is our rotation speed. That's when we will pitch the airplane up for departure. V2 is what we will accelerate to if we have an engine out by that point. If we had to take off with an engine out, we'll accelerate to V2. That is a safe climb speed for a one-engine departure. And then a VT it is also part of the engine out procedure, but it's also kind of the speed that you want to pitch to for your first 1,000 feet of climb. So we'll expect to rotate at 11 and pitch to 140 for that initial part of the departure. All right, we'll go ahead and send those V speeds over to the main flight display, and I think that's all we need to do there. Let's go ahead and get the plane powered up before we kill the battery. Let's go ahead and get a beacon light on, and safety, and we need to get the
May I have your attention, please? At this time, please comply with the illuminated seat belt and no smoking signs. Thank you.
Yeah, I really just needed the beacon, I guess. Beacon on, get the number 2 started. There's nothing that you need to do as far as
Delta
ignition or
325,
putting in
clear at
fuel. It's
Key
going to do that automatically. It's going to get 12% N2. It'll fire the igniter automatically. There it goes. And it should stabilize at about 53 and 24. And then we'll know we've got a good start on the number 2.
Yeah, Delta 325.
You know, one thing we can do, actually, in our legs. Can we do this? Romeo 7. No. 075. And how long is it going to take us to get to 2100? Probably about 5 miles.
Boston, American 1, flight number 330.
So we'll check on that in a minute, see if that worked.
American 1, Boston Center, roger.
All right, with the number 2 stable, we'll get the climate control on. I'll talk through what I just did there in a minute, guys, to show you the little trick that I just did.
American 9278, descend and maintain 3000.
Oh, Fluff says I got a big update tomorrow. Hopefully get a chance to do a flight. Yeah, I haven't flown in a while. Yeah, there's been some big ones, man. Expect to spend a good amount of time updating if you haven't done it in a while. Avionics can come on into fully on mode now. There we go. The barometer, what did we say was in the ATIS? 2987. So we'll spin that down. Let's say 87 or 67. Yep, okay. 2987, and the field elevation here is 603, and it's showing 580 on the altimeter, so that's close enough. 2987. Set twice. Let's go ahead and set our squawk that we were assigned. So we'll come back here to the tune page, which was 4725. Pop that into TARA. Go ahead and get the plan mode here. Or no, this is the present position mode. Oh, this is, yeah, I'll show you.
JetBlue 2017 at 1,200, climbing 4,000.
So we know that the procedure here says that we've got to climb heading 075 to 2100. Well, I figure 2100 is going to take us, if we figure, 3 miles for every 1,000 feet, then we figure 6 miles to get to 2100, but we're already starting from 600 feet here, so I figured 5 miles probably adequate, and this plane climbs like a banshee, so even less than that's probably fine. So I just figured that way we know we're going out to on a 075, so we'll just point the plane right to that point, and then we'll turn direct to Genevieve. So let's go ahead back to the legs page. We'll execute the change, and there we go. So now our first point is going to be that custom point that we added in there.
Heading 310 and descend and maintain 2000.
And then we're up to Genevieve, and then we can, we'll zoom this out and MFD advance, and we'll step through next, and then we're on to the runway 5 approach.
Blue streak 50, are you on this frequency?
And that all looks good, so we're good there. All right, what else we need to do, guys? Let's get back to the checklist. We'll set this to just the next point there. I don't know, the current 2 point, I mean. There we go.
American 9278, turn right heading 010 and intercept the localizer.
All right, good.
010 to the localizer, American 9278.
Our initial altitude is that we're going to climb straight to 8,000. You don't always set the cruise altitude. Normally you set the initial level off altitude. In this case, they are the same, but you never just automatically set your cruise altitude unless that's exactly what you were cleared to do. So you always want to go by that, what your clearance said to do as far as your initial level off.
My FMC sort of just messed up.
Initial heading, we did say was 075, but it also should be you know, that to that point out there that we added into the FMC. So 075, and there we go. All right, let's get the safety and seatbelt lights on now. There we go. Climate control can come off as we start from number 1.
Boston Center, roger.
Please fasten your seatbelt and shoulder harness at this time.
Love those custom waypoints in the CJ4, says people. Yeah, they're so useful. There's so many things.
Thanks very much for the service, and have a good night.
While we're waiting for the engine to spool up, we can take care of some raffle tickets. A raffle ticket that Mr. Amtrak 2051 needs.
Blue Streak 5050, descend and pause discretion to maintain 1000. The old
Amtrak
altimeter
2051. Did I get that right? Okay, I think so.
to runway 1.
Runway 1.
Qualip says, I need a new slant alpha alarm clock. Missed the first hour. Well, I yammered on for most of it because we were waiting for Boston Virtual ARTCC to have coverage, so did a lot of talking, not a lot of flying. By the way, Qualip, you don't have to lie to me. I know you were watching 757 Spies stream, but it's all good. I love him very much, so it doesn't offend me at all that you were over there. All right, what's next in the checklist, guys? See, okay, so the engine, yeah, status monitor did come up. We can get the climate control on.
Okay, Dave, have a great night. Thank you.
And we'll get our flight controls checked.
578, turn right heading 310.
System is what we'll hit system twice here. Oh, there it is. So hit system twice. Now, these arrows don't actually move. That is just a work in progress for the working title group. So we'll just use our imagination that the aileron and rudder, aileron and elevators, and now the rudder would all be moving left center, right center, forward center, back center, left center, right center, and we're good to go. Flight controls checked, flaps 15 set and checked, trim set to the bottom of the green range.
Coaljet 578, turn right heading 010 and intercept the localizer.
We'll go ahead and get our passenger briefing started for our takeoff. Especially because it's a very short taxi. Speaking of a short taxi, we will look at the airport diagram. So we're basically going to taxi to the west and straight out.
Blue Streak 5050, roger, and when able, proceed right to Mujik. You'll find it on the final approach course for runway 1.
West is going to be, what, that way? Straight to the right? I think? Yeah, exactly.
Coaljet 578, you're 2 miles from Nabo. Clear ILS, runway 4 at approach.
All right, PTO and static can come on, taxi light can come on, and we're ready to roll.
Please ensure that your lap belt and shoulder harness are fastened.
Center Citation 5-4 Delta Victor, ready to taxi at Lebanon.
November 514 Delta Victor, runway 7, taxi via Bravo.
7 via Bravo, 5-4 Delta Victor. All right, parking brake off, guys. Here we go. The first thing we want to do before we get too far out is to check the brakes. I guess before we check the brakes, we got to get rolling straight. Otherwise, we're not really checking the brakes then, are we? Okay, brakes are checked and brakes are good. On the primary flight display, we'll get the weather radar up.
Coaljet 578, contact Boston Tower.
Secondary, we'll get the terrain radar.
Because of the possibility of unexpected turbulence, please keep your lap belt securely fastened about you at all times while in your seat. In the event of cabin depressurization, oxygen masks...
Departure frequency is preset since we're already talking to them. And we'll go ahead and get the landing and strobe lights on as we get up to the whole short line.
Birthday smiley face.
Boston Center, which runway should we expect? United 634.
Lee Meadowlands 1 year subscription anniversary. Lee, thank you so much. Fluffs thought Lebanon was untowered, maybe thinking of Laconia. Yeah, possibly.
Delta 325, contact Washington, contact New York Center on 125.32. 125.32, Delta 325.
We actually need a minute to complete this passenger briefing, guys.
Exit the cabin by stepping through the opening onto the wing and continue forward The main entry door, which you use to enter the aircraft, may also be used as an
So
Maybe Boston, American 867.
we'll let that run.
American 867, Boston Center cross, Jordan, and maintain
We can
11,000,
engage toga. That
Providence,
only
altimeter
engages it in the flight directors and the
2979.
FMC. It does not engage anything in the throttle.
2979, American 867 will go.
American 867 will be landing runway 5 at Providence tonight.
near your seat.
Runway 5, thank you, American 867.
Tear open the storage bag.
United 634, descend via the Roebuck 3 arrival, runway 4 right, Boston altimeter 2979.
I think I've got a sneeze coming on, guys. I'm going to try and mute the mic.
Descend via the Roebuck arrival, runway 4 right, altimeter 2979, United 634.
Blue Streak 5050, descend and maintain 5,000.
Woo! Got it.
Descend maintain 5,000, Blue Streak 5050.
Yeah, there you go.
Attached to the vest.
There's your briefing.
For information on the location and use of fire extinguishers, as well as other emergency or survival.
Good Fixin says, sit down, shut up, hold on to your butts. There you go.
Or consult your flight crew. Thank you, and have a pleasant flight.
The Citation 514 Delta Victor, short of 7 at Lebanon, ready.
Number 514 Delta Victor, when able, turn left on course, runway 7, cleared for takeoff.
Left on course when able, clear for takeoff, runway 7, 514 Delta Victor. When able means at least 2,100 feet. Away we go. Let's get the strobes and landing lights on. Temps and pressures all looking good. And we just basically advance the throttles all the way forward into takeoff. Away we go. So V1 and rotate. Pitch for 140. Gear coming up. We started at 600 feet. So we're going to go to 16 before we get the flaps in. There we go. And we got to go to at least 21 before we start the turn. There's 24. We're okay. We can start the turn now. I'm just going to just kind of turn us in the direction we need to go. We're going to go autopilot, heading, flight level change.
New York Center on
We're going to go from takeoff to climb mode and the throttles. Flight level change, we'll dial up to 240. And then we'll reset ourselves direct to Genevieve from present position.
Giant 806, contact New York Center 125.32. Giant 806, Boston.
Alright, I think we're good, guys. Oh, and get into LNAV mode, too.
Blue Streak 5050, descend and maintain 2,000.
Descend and maintain 2,000, Blue Streak 5050.
Lee says, I need a better computer. Flight Sim 2020 looks so much worse on mine. Yeah, I do. I am pretty pleased with the setup I have here, the way it's worked out.
Altitude.
Giant 806, contact New York Center 125.32.
8,000, we're going to need to throttle it way back.
125.32, thank you so much.
Basically need to maintain 240 because we're not even at 10,000 feet. So throttle's going to have to come way back, way back. Alright. Let's see, what else we need to do here, guys? Gears up, flaps up. Autopilot modes are set. Go ahead and get the seatbelt signs off.
United 634 Heavy at Goshi.
We'll do a real quick
Runway 4 right approach.
fuel rebalance. Even though we're not too much heavier on the left side, then it probably won't affect us, but we'll just go and do a real quick fuel rebalance. We don't need to set barometer to standards since we're not doing that. Yeah, this is a real quick one, guys. And then just auto, yeah, there's no auto throttle, so we just kind of have to manually throttle to maintain 240-ish. And fuel balance is good. Let's go ahead and get that taken care of. Alright, real quick, let's rebrief our weather. Okay, Saranac Lake, winds calm, 7 statute miles clear, 299 or 7. Alright, and
634, are you still
temperatures
descending via the
1.
arrival?
Ooh,
It looks
nice
like
and
you're
cold
gonna
up at
be
Saranac Lake.
way too high.
Boston Center, roger, we are.
Okay, United 634, I didn't copy that. Just, what waypoint are you direct to right now?
Rebuke.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that. United 634, just cross Goshi at or above 6,000 and you're clear for the approach.
Roger, crossing Goshi at 6,000, clear for approach, United 634.
Center Citation 514 Delta Victor. We got the weather at Saranac Lake, looking for the RNAV runway 5.
So, November 514 Delta Victor, roger, and say altitude.
8,000.
514 Delta Victor, thanks. You are radar contact, and say again the approach request.
RNAV 5.
514 Delta Victor, roger, you can expect it.
Alrighty. Yeah, I totally forgot that he didn't even give us a radar contact after we departed, so. He was busy, I was busy, we forgot. But he did the right thing, he radar contacted us, verified our altitude. I thought he was going to say something about altitude discrepancy because of flights in 2020, but no, as soon as he said radar contact, I'm like, oh yeah, we never did hear that the first time, did we?
Inbound Bradley, level at 7,000.
Air 9881, Boston Center, squawk 4745.
Lisa, could you do a quick overview of how the Boston Wings thing works? Do you rebriefing? Yeah, we covered that kind of earlier, Lee, but I'll be happy to go over it again.
Pushing 50-50, clear visual approach to runway 1.
There's the list of flights here, Wings, and you go to Flights. And if you are signed up as a member of Boston Virtual ARTCC, which only takes a VATSIM login, and then there's a brief application process, but just say in the remarks as to why you're joining because you want to complete the Wings program. But then you go to each individual flight, click over here, read through the briefing material. This one's really short because it's a fairly straightforward flight. Test standards are over here. And if you complete it successfully, they give you a credit. You have to do it with appropriate air traffic control coverage online. They don't look at your cockpit. They look at only what's on their scope. So as long as you're in the correct position, correct direction, correct altitude,
United 634, are you experiencing any kind of difficulties?
correct speed,
like you're going well
and
below the published speeds on their
anything that they can see you do from the from their radar scope.
For whatever reason, flight controls are non-responsive at this point.
So as long as they can see from the scope that you're complying with the procedure, then they'll pass you for the rating. And again, there's another little.
Let me know if I can be of assistance.
Another little sub if you go under ratings here. It tells you these are the list of people that have completed all of the 30 flights, and then there's a listing of the like here's mine here.
Turkey 10, maintain 3,000.
And you can see we need 21, 22, 23, I'm sorry, 20, 21, 22, and 23. When I completed this program before, there was only 20, it only went up to 20. And then so the 20 became 24, and then they inserted 4 into the program. So these 4 we actually need credit for. It's the online ATC that approves the credit, correct? Yep, there's no separate examiner. They're just looking at the scope. They know what you're supposed to do, and if you do it, they pass you.
Delta 995, Boston Center, rudder.
Let's go ahead and brief that RNAV runway 5, since we've been told we can expect that. Let's set and check the legs.
For KLM-619 Heavy, thank you for the service, sir.
We know it's Genevieve, and then Mary, and then Ingrid, and then Elma. And then the runway. Elma may or may not be in the legs page, since that's a straight part of the leg, but let's go ahead and just look in here. Oh, Ella, rather. Ella, not Elma. 54, 37, and 29 is correct. And then the missed approach, if we would have to do it, is a left turn, 6,000 to Monza. 6,000 at Monza is correct. So we're all set in there. Let's go under performance and approach. We said the predicted temperature is 1. That's the only mandatory entry. 115 and 123 are our V speeds for arrival. So go ahead and set those. I'm going to step the... Yeah, there we go. Minimums. For LP and a Category B is 2420. For a field elevation of 16 and change. So we'll set 2420 in the refs. All right, 2420 set. We talked about the winds being calm. I think the cloud cover was clear, but it is 7 statute miles, so it's clear in a little bit of haze, I guess. Missed approach altitude 6,000, and right-hand turnoff if we do land successfully on runway 5. Hopefully land it kind of short. If not, we'll roll it to the end and turn back to the left. But hopefully we can be off there by Bravo.
JetBlue 2017, contact New York approach 128.12.
128.12, good day, JetBlue 2017.
Oh, Smitty says, yeah, so they'll update your credit. They forgot once for me, but it was a fun flight to do again. Yeah, normally if you hit them up on either Discord or in their forums, BVARTCC.net, and you let them know that they forgot one, normally the controller that did it will go, oh yeah, I remember that guy, and they'll go ahead and update it. But also doesn't hurt to do them again. Iowa Scotsman is here. Smitty, by the way, thanks for stopping back into the stream.
Cantatter above 2,500, cleared ILS, runway 5 approach.
Cross Canada above 2,500, cleared ILS runway 5, American 867, thank you.
What's the altimeter there, by the way? 297. So we're going to go ahead and set that. We'll set that over here in the standby also. I think we're briefed for the approach as best as we're going to be. The one thing we do need to kind of watch is the terminal area step down fixes. So coming from coming to Genevieve, if we're within 30 miles, we can go to 76. And then after Genevieve, it's 54 to Mary, but I think 54 to Mary is indeed what's in here, so I think we're good. Yep. So once we're cleared for the approach, we can set basically 3,000.
And maintain best forward speed.
Basically 3,000, and then once we grab the glide path, then we can set the missed approach of 6.
Boston Center, we've regained control. We're going to continue with the approach for 4 right, United 634.
30 miles from Genevieve. I think we can go ahead and do a quick passenger landing briefing. Go ahead and get the belts on.
May I have your attention, please? The captain has turned on the seatbelts.
United 634, heavy low altitude alert. Check your altitude immediately. The minimum vectoring altitude in that area is 1,900.
May I have your attention, please?
Boston Center, Roger, ascending and maintaining 1,900. United 634.
United 634, okay, I was telling you you're too low, alright? You need to get your altitude up in that area. You're awfully close to hitting terrain. Who else called?
The Boston Center, Delta 995, confirm you said direct probing.
Delta 995, affirmative.
Alright, roger that, Delta 995.
Smitty says, I haven't done the IFR ones yet, but only because I get caught up in different stuff. Yeah, no, of course. The Virtual USA Flying Club is very distracting. You know, plus there's all these different air traffic control streamers you have to log on and control. You're very busy, I understand. Alright, so we are within the published terminal area of the approach. It's within 30 miles to Genevieve. However, we're at 8,000. We can only go 7,600, so we don't have to worry about a descent until we're passing Genevieve. However, right now, we are not cleared to do any of that. We were told we can expect the RNAV to 5, but we haven't been cleared to actually execute it yet. Gets a little closer when we're reminded.
United 634 Heavy, I now show you above the glide slope. Are you able to continue the approach?
Boston Center, Roger. United 634.
United 634, okay, contact Boston Tower on 128.8.
128.8, United 634.
Excuse me, guys. By the way, minor point. Roger is not a yes or no. Roger is, okay. Roger is gotcha.
Delta 995,
10-4.
airspeed.
So the answer to a yes or no question is not Roger. The answer to a yes or no question is affirmative or negative. But minor point. That's a common mistake for newer pilots, newer VATSIM pilots as well. But just in case, guys, in case you ever get asked a yes or no question, don't answer Roger. Roger just means I heard you. Roger means I heard you. Wilco means I will comply. That undone's ahead of me. Yeah, Roger means I heard you.
Delta Victor cross Genvev, Vatter above 7,500, and you're clear the RNAV runway 5 approach.
All right, Genvev, at or above 7,500, clear for the RNAV 5 approach, 5 and 4 Delta Victor. All right, so we are now cleared to descend to the lowest published altitude on the approach, which I think we said was going to be essentially 3,000 for us. So we'll set 3. Yeah, I'll come back to that in 1 second. And then set 3. Vertical navigation is armed. Yeah, Roger means I heard you. Wilco means will comply, means I will. Roger means I heard the instruction. Wilco means I will execute the instruction. However, commonly, Roger is understood to be both. Unless you say Roger unable. But commonly, Roger is understood to mean I heard you and I will comply. Technically speaking, Roger Wilco is two separate. Roger and Wilco are two separate things. But going back to my earlier point, none of those mean yes. Are you okay? Roger. Are you okay? Affirmative. Yeah, Will and Co. Normally I'd wait to throttle down until we started the descent, but because we're at 240, we kind of want to bring it down to about 210.
Flight 209er, you are cleared for takeoff.
Roger. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. Bring it down to about 210.
Roger. Huh? Request vector. Over. What?
Flight 209er, clear for vector 324.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Tower radio clearance, over.
That's Clarence, over. Over.
Roger.
Huh?
Roger, over.
What?
Huh?
Who?
There we go. Pretty much at 210, and then once we are on our way to intercept, we'll get it down to 170, and we'll start the landing checks. Yeah, that is one of the longer sounds. I did cut some of them down after I first instituted them.
1035 Boston Center, radar contact, come and maintain flight level 220.
Come and maintain flight level 220 with the Citation 35.
And the Walker checking in, say your numbers.
Walker 951, flight level 380.
Walker 951, Boston Center, squawk 4756.
Alright, so it's
4756.
just about to catch the glide slope, and we're also about to intercept final. So we're going to go ahead and slow it to 170. And anytime you're trying to lose speed and altitude around the same time, you can expect to need spoilers, although we're already down to 190. I'm going to go ahead and get flaps 15 in. And then we'll do 170 until Ella.
November 855, Lima Golf, Boston Center, clear to the Providence Airport.
Guys can start putting some predictions into the chat. There's no bot command on this channel for that, just a number into the chat, positive or negative, representing your prediction of the vertical descent rate in terms of feet per minute when the wheels touch. Closest predictor above or below gets an automatic entry into Saturday's landing rate raffle. Yeah, good fixins. Our black and white furry co-pilot is named Ella, so we already sing that song all the damn time.
Alright, 855 Lima Golf is, your reback is correct, and you are...
And bear with me, guys, and that I probably am going to kind of fall behind in the chat until we get down onto the ground, so bear with me. But yeah, keep those predictions coming in just like you got them.
Victor, there's no traffic observed between you and the Saranac Lake Airport. Report your cancellation of IFR on this frequency. Change to advisory frequency is approved.
Alright, change to advisory is approved. Will report cancellation when able. 5 and 4 Delta Victor.
American 867, the wind at Providence is now 020 at 11 gust 20, runway 5.
Alright, so 5, 6, 7. Mary is a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Mary is a 14-mile final. Saranac Lake, Citation 514 Delta Victor's on about a 14-mile final. Runway 5, Saranac. Yeah, exactly. I see you, good fixins. I see you. Alright, let's go ahead and get the sucker into approach mode. It says it has captured the glide slope. I'm going to take it at its word. That should mean that it's safe to set the missed approach altitude.
Altitude.
Yeah, I know. You're going to get a funny alert when you do that, but it's okay. It should continue descending even though it's passing the selected altitude. Once it's captured glide path or glide slope, then it's usually okay to set that altitude constraint to the missed without messing up anything on your execution. Alright, we're going to go ahead and switch back.
Monarch 25.
Monarch 25, Boston Center, Squawk 4701.
Squawk 4701, Monarch 25.
KLM 4 Yankee Mike, you up?
KLM 4 Yankee.
Alright, KLM 4 Yankee Mike, that is unreadable. You are above your top altitude on the city.
We're up,
to maintain
but we're a little busy.
But you are radar contact for now. Calm and maintain.
Need those predictions in no later than Ella, by the way.
Monarch 25 is radar contact 38 miles south.
We're descending via the glide slope. We'll get the gear in.
Maintain, actually descend at pilot's discretion to maintain flight level 240.
Gonna add some power, just counteract that additional drag.
Flight level 240, Monarch 25.
As soon as we can, we'll cancel our IFR.
Expect a visual approach runway 6, Bradley altimeter 2990. Advise you have the ATIS.
We have a Sheila on board and 2990 for the field elevation, and we'll expect the visual. 9881.
KLM 9881, CARE 9881, apologies, the altimeter at Bradley 2982.
If we can get a word in, we'll cancel IFR. If not, we'll cancel it on the ground.
Walker 951, thanks for your patience. You are radar contact 57 miles east of Bangor. Maintain flight level 380.
Maintain flight level 380, Walker 951.
Center 5 and Port Delta Victor got the airport and sign cancel IFR.
Number 514 Delta Victor, roger. IFR cancellation is received. Radar service terminated. Squawk VFR, frequency change approved. Congrats on passing wings VFR 20, or IFR 20 rather.
Frequency change approved. Squawk and maintain VFR. Thank you. 5 and Port Delta Victor. Talk to you soon.
Boston Center, good evening. Number 1 to Echo Sierra is 6 miles south of Nashville, looking to land in Nashville.
Adirondack traffic, citation 5, we'll put out the Victor 7 mile final, runway 5, Adirondack. We're going to keep 170 if we can up until 5 mile final, which is about halfway between Ingrid and Ella. And then we'll get the laps 2, 122 and 115. Last call for those predictions is about 1 minute, guys. Less than 1 minute. What was it? 23 and 15? 22 and 15. All right, flaps 2 going in. We'll slow it to 122. Oh my goodness, we got the raid from 757 Spine right as we're about to do our landing checks. We're on about a 5 mile final to runway 5 at Adirondack. Bear with me if I am not too attentive to the chat with all the hellos. It should be at 122 knots, so I'm a little slow here, guys. Let's get back to the V approach speed. There we go. I'm going to take control of the airplane.
Autopilot.
Heaven help us. Autopilot's off, flaps 35 set and checked, gears down in green. Landing clearance is received. Left hand to 6,000 if we go missed, right hand turn off if we land successfully. Landing checks complete, heaven help us, let's put this thing on the ground, guys. And again, I apologize for the late hellos. We're going to catch up with all the hellos once we get on the ground.
Minimums.
We're continuing, although the ball says we're a little high. Ball says we're a little high. Eyeball also says we're a little high. That's a little better. And then we'll slow it down to 115. We're stable. And 115, we'll keep it. Channel flare, not too big of a flare in this aircraft. There we go, spoilers in. Could have made that turn off maybe if we'd been aggressive, but we'll just roll it to the end. And I was pretty happy with that, guys. I was pretty happy with that. Yeah, Wuso or Juso, if you had been here in time, if 757 had rated just a touch earlier, you could have put a prediction in. But yeah, you are correct, by the way. We'll go over the winning number here in just a moment. We do have a raffle on this channel. The closest predictor gets an entry into our monthly landing rate raffle, and our next drawing is actually this coming Saturday. So if you guys stick around, those of you who just joined us from 757 Spies stream, stick around. You get to put a prediction in for the second landing. You get an automatic entry into that Saturday's raffle. Adirondack 514 Delta Victor, clear runway 5 at Adirondack. Alright, clear. Let's get clean. Flaps and spoilers are in. Get the terrain radar off. I'm sorry, weather radar off, and then the terrain radar off on the second radar there. Let's see, where are we going? Made the right turn off. Take Alpha all the way back to Delta. Make a left on Delta, and then straight into the FBO from there. Talk about the winning numbers there in just a moment here. What else can we do? We can get the flight directors off if I can. Sometimes they won't go. Let's try it again. There we go. Yeah, sometimes the flight directors just don't want to turn off. It's okay. We'll just let them run. Flaps and spoilers, strobes. Oh yeah, here we go. Strobe lights can come off. Taxi lights can come on. Pitot heat can come off as well. Anti-icing was not used. And we got the radars. Okay, we're good. We are good. So 757 Spy, thank you so much for that raid. We appreciate it. Juso says, perfect time to raid. Yeah, if you had raided just a bit earlier, we could have gotten some predictions in for you guys. So, like I said, I do hope that you guys will stick around for the second flight here, and maybe you can get in on that raffle entry on flight number 2. Who else stopped in and said hi? Red Warhawk came in with the very last-minute prediction there. And we got the follow from Juso as well. Calico Khan says, good job. Welcome to the stream, Calico. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like I know what I'm doing in this aircraft, which is normally right around when things start to go wrong. But the good news, as our friend Dave would say, nobody got hurt and nobody got arrested. Astro Charles with the follow. Okay, here we go. Making our left turn onto Delta. No idea whether the taxiway letters are correct here. I think the ones that we passed were good, although sometimes VATSIM 2020 just gets lucky with those. We do need to announce that we're crossing 9 and 27. Let's just peek for any traffic coming in. Doesn't look like we have any. Adirondack, Citation 5, and Fort Upton Victor is going to be crossing runway 9er on Delta at Adirondack. Alright, I know you guys are anxiously awaiting the winning number, as Juso said, it was under 100. We'll go back through the predictions and see who was closest here in just a moment. Get pulled up and parked. We'll get ready for our second flight. And we'll go over the raffle entry winner here for the first of two. Let's see. Yeah, this looks like the nicer building. That's usually where the airport bar is. So we'll go ahead and park up here. And you'll see when I show the external shot, guys, we're in a nice custom limo livery in the CJ4. We are the VIPs for absolute sure. So we'll park right up here in front of the door. Hopefully I didn't just wingtip strike the building. I don't think I did. But we'll see. Taxi light, I'm sorry, yeah, parking brake on. Taxi light off, and let's just see. Did we cause any damage just there? Whoops. That drone camera always likes to come in at those crazy angles. How'd we do? Oh, plenty of room, plenty of room. There we go. Yeah, there we go. There's our beautiful limo livery of the Citation CJ4, guys. Hope that you enjoyed the flight. Let me get a couple things done here, and then we'll go over the numbers. We can get the engine number 1 stopped. The engine number 2 will remain as our APU, but we'll just shut down the number 1. Refs can be reset, minimums rather can be reset. Yeah, I know. I know there's no oil pressure in the number 1. I'm hoping that, I mean, that would be the normal case if you shut it off, right? Shut those up. Okay, good. Yep, so, alright, MIN's reset. Let's go ahead and get safety and seatbelt lights off. You guys can get up and run inside, use the little passenger's room and stretch. We'll go ahead. We have already set 1200. We can go ahead and turn our transponder off as well. And let's check on our fuel and ETA first of all, and then we'll check on that descent rate. Fuel and ETA. I had said that the first flight would be on the ground at 8:32 Eastern, on the blocks at 8:37 Eastern. Man, we almost nailed that. Plus, we were off. We were airborne a couple minutes late, about 3 minutes late. So I think we nailed that ETA to the minute, guys. 2,487 should be about 1250 per tank, and we've got about 1320 per tank. So we've got just a touch extra fuel in there as well. So I would say the flight time and fuel estimates were pretty darn good. Wouldn't you say? All right, let's talk about, yeah, Princess Parking. That's right, Smitty. Let's talk about the winning prediction, guys. The winning prediction and the entry into Saturday's raffle is the viewer who guessed closest to 88. No, that's actually 88 feet per minute, but, you know. Where were we with the guesses here? Let's go ahead and look. We had Good Fixins came in dead center with the 88. Good Fixins, you actually get 2 entries in for nailing that dead center on. And 757 Spies Raid brought in 88 viewers. That is hilarious. I feel like I ought to give 757 Spy an entry into that raffle just for that. But no, that is awesome, guys. Good Fixins with the double entry for getting us dead on with the 88 feet per minute guess. Awesome. Yep, Good Fixins. Great guess. And where are we? KSLK on, what the heck's today? 10/27, is it not? Yes, all right, good. Fixins. KSLK on 10/27. The winner, guys, by the way, we will pull on Saturday, October 30th, Cross the Pond Day. We're going to be controlling Dulles Tower for Cross the Pond. If you're new to the stream, we normally fly general aviation for you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But we're going to be off on Friday. Oh, was that the first guess too, Smitty? I think it might have been. No, Sky 173 came in just moments before that with the 120. But, yeah, pretty close. So yeah, we're going to be off on Friday because we're controlling Saturday morning. We're going to start the stream at 6:45 a.m. Eastern Time, controlling Dulles Tower for the cross the pond departures. We've got about 130 of those slotted departures departing from the U.S., headed across the North Atlantic to Europe in the VATSIM semi-annual blockbuster event called Cross the Pond. The slick one with the follow there as well. Astor Charles and Jusa. Okay, I think I said hi to everybody. If I missed anybody. Virtual pilot with that follow as well right after the raid. I think I got everybody. But yeah, thanks for stopping in, guys. Says I'll be here for departures on Saturday, says Sky. Yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. Hope there's plenty of coffee at the departure gate. Well, on this channel, of course, Spine, you well know this. It's the sugar-free Red Bull. Normally on a Saturday stream, I'd go mixture enriched Red Bull. But for Saturday morning, 6:45 a.m., I don't know if I will do that or not. Plus, I have an unfortunate family obligation to tear off to at 10:30. So yeah, I think I probably better not be mixture enriched for that. So Smitty says, I was wearing my Slant Alpha shirt the other day flying. Yes, I saw the picture, Smitty. That well, first of all, it looked like an awesome day, regardless of the wardrobe. But the free advertising is much appreciated. It's a great shirt, and I won it in a landing challenge, says Smitty. Indeed. Yep. So real quick, guys, for those of you new to the stream, we got our Cross the Pond Day on Saturday. We've got our October raffle winners to pull that day. We're going to reset all the entries and start them up all over again for November. We do the 2 raffles every single month. The first raffle, you join with the Twitch channel points at the bottom of the screen. 1,000 points gets you 1 entry. 5,000 points gets you 6 entries. If you don't accumulate enough between now and Saturday, don't worry, because like I said, we're going to start it all over for the month of November. Landing rate raffle, you just saw Good Fixin's got himself a double entry. The closest predictor in either direction gets 1 entry, but Good Fixin's got it dead center on, so he got 2. So those of you who are new to the stream, you got a chance to enter that one by sticking around for our second flight tonight, and who knows, maybe you'll have 1,000 points by the end of it. You can cash in and get in on both of those raffles for Saturday morning. All right, let's look at the second flight, guys. It is the Boston Virtual ARTCC Wings Over New England Training Series. 24 IFR, 6 VFR flights and 24 IFR flights, and we just completed IFR number 20. We're going to move on to IFR number 21. We're heading down to Bradley from Adirondack. We do have an obstacle departure procedure out of Adirondack that we need to review. We'll show you where to find that. We might request a visual climb over the airport if we've got nice VFR conditions. We wouldn't have to do the full ODP if we can do a VCOA, and we would just have to let the controller know. But we'll look at that in just a moment. We do want to miss the MOA, the Tupper MOA, and we do want to miss the IR-801 airway. We'll show you those on SkyVector here in just a moment. Avoiding those should happen naturally, it says, but we'll just make sure there's no tech route, so we can kind of come up with our own route. But we can just make sure that we miss those locations. It does say appropriate parking location for general aviation, so we will want to pre-plan where at Bradley we're going to park and make sure that we request accordingly so that we don't have to do an additional runway crossing. Signature over here on the west side, TAC Air over here on the east side. I think we'll aim for TAC Air. Let's see. Let's go back up to the test standards. I've kind of given you the short version. You can read through all that on your own. Departs SLK in an appropriate manner, so that means either the ODP or the VCOA. Navigates on course without vectors. We're going to be cleared as filed, so we need to join our route on our own. Appropriate altitude and route that does not cross any MOAs or MTRs. We do need to file the Stella arrival. It is the Stella 1. And we do need to report the top of descent to the controller. So when we're cleared to descend via the Stella 1 or we're cleared to cross exit Y, that's fine. But when we start that descent later on, we'll need to let them know that we're starting that descent. Center 5 and 4 Delta Victor, departing 17,000 for whatever. Exits the runway on a taxiway consistent with a desired parking location. And if we need to roll it long, we can request that. And then taxi to appropriate parking location and assigned taxi complies with the assigned taxi route. So basically saying if you're flying this in a GA airplane like a Citation, you would not park at the terminal gate. Oh, people, you do some raffle tickets. Let's go ahead and get those in for you. There you go. All right, so fairly straightforward, guys. The only thing we need to do is figure out a route that we're going to fly. So let's come back over here to SkyVector and blank this plan out. We are at KSLK. We're going to KBDL. We know that we want to file the Stella arrival. We don't need that. We have the airport diagram. Let's look at the I guess it probably helps if I get the letters in the right order. There we go. There we go. Takeoff minimums. Okay, that's where the obstacle departure procedure is located. So if we're going to take off runway 5, all right, 049er to 4,000 and then on course. Okay, we can do that. That's not a problem. Or ATC approval for visual climb over the airport. So that means at or above 4,000 over the airport before proceeding on course. Well, I think, you know, we're going to get, this is a CJ4. It's going to get to 4,000 before we even know it. So I think we'll just do the 049er to 4,000 off runway 5. That's fine. That's not a problem. Just saves us some unnecessary communication. And we'll show you, as we did on the first leg, we'll show you how to put in a custom point into the FMC to make sure that we are pointed in the right direction for that initial procedure. Then we're going to go to the oh, wait a minute. What are we doing here? What are we doing? BDL. We don't yet know what approach we're going to do at Bradley, but we can certainly pull up that Stella 1 star. Yep, there we are. All right, so we got, and I like to put these in order. So we got the airport diagram, we got the obstacle departure procedure, we got the Stella 1 continuation. The Stella 1 continuation is just the routes from the transition, so it's not terribly useful. So the Stella 1, hold on. Okay, there we go. Stella 1 you can pick up either from Cambridge or from Albany, and then down to this point, Canaan. Okay, let's just kind of see on SkyVector a direct route. It takes us right over Cambridge, so let's just do that then. Cam, Stella 1. Alright, so there we go. 169.4 miles. I usually say that whatever the mileage is, you add 2 zeros to that, and that's about the maximum flight level you could attain. So 170 miles, more or less, of flight level, well, 17,000 feet. Be a good altitude to fly. I don't think we're going to get too much higher than that, so we'll just find that's a good eastbound altitude anyway, so 17,000 should do. So we will plan on that. Let's go back to the planning page. And let's take it from the top of the checklist here, guys. I think one thing we can do here is we can get back over onto Boston Centers. I'm going to try and get out of here by what time? Oh, I think we can get out of here by... I think we can be...
262, contact Boston. Delta, correction, W262, maintain 170 knots or greater until middle.
Let's see, let's be rolling by 10 after and airborne by 20 after. I think we can do that. That's just under a half an hour. Oh yeah, we can make that. That's no problem.
25, heavy descent, maintain 3,000.
So let's get our flight plan over here. Or KSLK. See if I can get the letters in the right order that time. Hey, I did. All right, K. Where are we going? Bradley, BDL. PVD will work as an alternate. Why not? Providence. I said 9:20 wheels up time. Is that what I said? So 01:20 time en route for this one. We're going to call it 0:49 with 2:29 left in the tanks as of right now. Cruise speed, yeah, going to be 320 because we're going to be, and for 8,000 feet, 320 was too aggressive. I should have probably put it as 260 because it's 240 indicated, plus a little bit between indicated and true. So in our case, we're going to be at 17,000. So it might be, but if we're 300 indicated, it might be 330 true. And we're wings IFR 21. And what do we say we're going to do? We're going to do cam. Oh, is my keyboard battery dying? And Stella 1. We're going to fix that before Saturday. Oh, and then let's just double check that if we go, yeah, we go eastbound, then we'll be outside of that MOA, and we'll be, south and east will be away from these two military routes. So that complies with that part of the test standards. So yeah, we're going south and east away from the airport. We'll be fine with respect to the airspaces and routes that they told us we needed to avoid. So we're good. We'll go ahead and file that then. Let's do an updated METAR just in case anything has changed here at SLK. Wind is still calm, 7 statute miles clear, temperature still 1, still 299 or 7. It may in fact be the same observation. The 27th, 2351. Yeah, it hasn't even changed. It's the same exact observation we saw earlier. So we're good there. Might be just about to update, so we might check it again as we're getting ready to taxi, but for right now it's the same as the one that we saw coming in. Alright, so we got our flight plan sent. We checked the METAR. We're already talking to the right controller. We'll get our clearance here in just a moment.
1851, reduce speed to 190.
190, Delta 1851.
And again, 4,000
heavy, maintain 170 knots until
is that initial altitude from the 4,000 is the initial from the obstacle departure clearance. Yep, 4,000 before proceeding on course. Okay.
7054 Boston Center Squawk 4704.
I'll give him a moment to read that back.
1851 is 900 miles from Pliny. Maintain
4,000
until established on the localizer. Clear ILS. Runway 4 right approach.
Maintain 4,000 until established, and we're cleared to ILS 4 right for Delta 1851.
Center Citation 514 Delta Victor's got the weather at Adirondack, IFR number 21 if available, and IFR to Bradley.
November 514 Delta Victor, I should be able to accommodate that, and clearance is on request, standby.
Okay. Yeah, he's scheduled to be on another hour, and I think we should be fine if we get off relatively quickly here. But since we need to get off relatively quickly in order to get down before he leaves, let's go ahead and...
Monarch 25 Heavy, contact Boston Tower on 128.8.
28,
roll on through the checklist. Flight plan is...
November 514 Delta Victor is cleared to the Bradley Airport as filed. On departure, climb and maintain 17,000. Departure this frequency and squawk 4725.
Alright, cleared as filed. We'll climb and maintain 17,000. Your frequency at 4725. 5 Delta Victor.
514 Delta Victor, readback is correct, and hold for release, advise number 1 for departure.
Hold for release, advise number 1, 5 Delta Victor.
Delta 1851, I show you.
All right, we've got a raid from MJ Schmidt. MJ, thank you so much. We're getting ready to do IFR 21 on the Boston Virtual ARTCC Wings Over New England program. We're kind of in a time crunch because I know our controller's trying to get off in an hour, and we do need credit for this flight because this is new since the last time I did the program. So bear with me as I roll through the FMC setup and get this thing airborne, and then we'll catch up with the chat at that point, guys. So we're going SLK to KBDL. The departure is, let's see, departure runway 5. and execute. We're going to arrive. Let's see. Wait a minute. Yeah, then we just basically go to the arrivals. It's going to be the Stella 1 from Cameron. Can we put in a guess as far as the arrival runway? We don't really know.
Walker 951 cross, Nelly at and maintain 16,000, the Bradley altimeter 2982.
Bradley's calm. Let's just that. Normally they land runway 6, I think. So we'll just go ILS 6 for now.
I'm sorry,
And yeah, we'll go ILS from 6 from Penna. I have no idea. We'll brief the approach when we get a little closer. But for right now, we'll go ahead with all that.
November 855 Lima Golf.
And it's runway 5 to Cameron. Now we did say, per this obstacle departure procedure, we got to go 049 to 4,000. How far is it going to take us to get 4,000? And we're at 16 now, so it's going to take us basically 3 miles.
And primary runway is 5-2-3-4 also available. You can have either one you like.
Probably not even. We'll say, yeah, we'll say 2 miles because it's not going to take us really any longer than that. So we'll select the runway point. It's a 049 for 2 miles, and then we'll insert that before cam and execute. And you can see there's now a point 049 off the runway and then our turn on course. So I think we're all set. Oh yeah, pick a 5-string says VX is 125. That should cover pretty much any and all. Couldn't send more pilots, says MJ. Don't worry about it, man. We appreciate the support either way. Yeah, pick a 5-string. This thing out climbs just about anything in its class, so don't normally have to worry about altitude restrictions. See if I can get the flight directors off this time. Yeah, we're still in.
G'day Boston, New Zealand 6095 heavy, passing
Autopilot off.
1,400, 3,000.
New Zealand 6095 heavy, Boston Center radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 3.
Yeah, I'm having trouble just deactivating the. There we go. Okay, now we got the autopilot off. All right, there we go. I think we should be fine now. MJ says I got to get some rest. Yeah, I appreciate the support, brother. Hopefully you'll catch us on the next one. Saturday morning, cross the pond departures at Adela, 6:45 a.m. Eastern Time, if you can make it.
855 Lima Golf expected.
Al South is here.
Miami.
All right, so let's see. We got the flight plan route done. Let's go ahead and get our departure performance in. Performance initialization, we're still at the same weights of passengers and cargo. We're a little bit lighter now because we burned some fuel, but all that's good. Oh, wait a minute, back. Performance initialization, we're going to go 17,000 this time. There we go. Now we can go to a takeoff. Outside air temp is 1. Got that in there.
Yeah, it's 221 Boston Center. Hello.
And again, on the second leg, the speeds show up in blue, even though they shouldn't. But we'll go ahead and send those. They should start white and go to blue. On the second and subsequent legs, you'll see that that's a little bit of a bug there. But now that we've sent those to the PFD, we should be good. All right, we did say that the altimeter here, 299.7, we already have that set. 299.7 and 299.7, so we're good there. Field elevation here, 1,600 and change. 1663, and we're showing 1640, so we're okay. We are going to go back and squawk our assigned code, 4725. There, pop it into TA and RA. Let's go ahead and get this. This is already in the plan mode, but we can.
November 625 Alpha is radar contact.
MFD will go to the current 2, and we did kind of already step through this already, but we'll just double check. Next. Okay, and then let's zoom it back out. There is a discontinuity here, but that's because we don't know how we're getting from the end of the star to the beginning of the approach, so the discontinuity is correct. We're also not sure which approach we're assigned to yet, so I'm not going to worry about that discontinuity for right now, but don't erase discontinuities unless you are sure you're going to be cleared to go direct from there to there. We don't know that, so the discontinuity is correct for right now. I'm gonna leave the plan mode in right in there. I don't really need it. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's set the plan mode back to our current 2 waypoint. Stepping forward because we are going to want the terrain mode on just to make sure we don't hit anything. 6:45 on a Saturday. Yep, cross the pond departures, man. We're controlling for cross the pond departures out of Dulles Airport, so should be a fun one. Saturday morning, 6:45 a.m. Eastern Time. All right, let's finish the setup here. We got present position mode already set. Initial altitude, we were told to set all the way up to 17. Ordinarily, you do not set your cruise altitude on this mode right now, guys. This just happens to be 2 flights where we are cleared straight up to cruise. But if that's not the case, you have to set this to your initial level off altitude per your departure procedure or per your IFR clearance. You do not just set this to cruise automatically. Big mistake that a lot of new VATSIM pilots make. In this case, though, we were cleared to go up to 17, so in this case, we're okay. The initial heading, again, was 049er, so we'll go ahead and set that in the heading bug. Even though we put that point in the FMC, that should be sufficient, but just as a backup, we'll set 049er in the heading mode as well. Okay, I think we're good.
American 2131, descend via the Roebuck 3 arrival.
Safety and seatbelt lights can come on. Hopefully you guys have had a chance to visit the little passenger's room and get back into the plane. We can turn the climate control off and we will refire that number 1 engine. And the starter. And we will do some rebalancing here. The right side got a little lighter because we were sitting here on the ramp just running the number 2. So we'll rebalance the fuel once we start making our climb. Right now we're looking for stabilization at about 54 and about 25. While we're waiting for that, let's review the V speeds. 109 is abort speed, so we're going to rotate at 110 and pitch for 140. 109 and 118 are the 2 emergency speeds, but the action speeds are 110 and 140. Alright, we're good. Engines are stabilized. We can go ahead and get the climate control back on. We'll check our flight controls. We'll hit system twice. Again, these arrows do not move. The working title has not finished that yet. But we'll just use our imagination that the aileron is left, center, right, center. Rudder is left, center, right, center. Elevator is forward, center, back, center. And we are good, allegedly. Flaps can now be set 15 and checked. We're going to move the trim up into the bottom of the green range there. You know what's interesting, guys? This is the trim. That is interesting. I've been doing that wrong the entire time. So this is showing aileron and rudder trim and elevator trim. It does say that over there, doesn't it? Okay, so I don't think we have... Maybe we don't have indicators for the control for surfaces themselves. Well, I'll have to adjust the way I run through that little speech then. But there you go. But ordinarily, I mean, you check the control surfaces, make sure that they all work and move freely and correctly for what you're trying to do. So we'll just call that all done. And flaps are set and checked for departure. We can go ahead and get the passenger briefing. One slight bug in the second leg. If you do in a second and subsequent flight in one sitting, you do have to select this twice for it to work. So there you go. First flight it does fine. Second and subsequent you just have to select it twice.
Alpha, advise when you have the Boston Airport in sight at 12 o'clock and 10 miles.
Taxi routing for our departure runway. is
Roger, we'll up by 65 Alpha.
basically we're going all the way to the west and then out on 5.
Aviation regulations require passenger compliance with lighted
And so we are technically going to be on Unicom for that.
as well as flight crew instructions. For taxi, takeoff, and landing.
So west is straight ahead, it looks like. Yep, okay.
Electronic devices are turned off. Tables, luggage, and loose articles must be stowed and secured.
That means we are ready, guys. We get the taxi lights on, we get the pitot and static on. And I said we were going to be airborne by... Yeah, rolling by 2110, airborne by 2120, and we're right on time. Might even be off a few minutes early.
To fasten the shoulder harness, pull the shoulder harness strap.
Before we get off the ramp here, we do want to check our brakes. So let's get out of the way of this other aircraft. We'll get rolling straight forward.
Depress the latch release on the top portion of the buckle to release the shoulder harness.
Alright, brakes
From the stud.
are checked.
Because of the possibility of unexpected turbulence,
Another departure maybe there?
securely fasten
Nice.
about you at all times while in your seat.
Adirondack traffic, Sky Gateway 2 Echo Echo on the go, runway 5, making a left traffic.
Oh, there he is.
We've passed the air.
Adirondack traffic, citation 514 Delta Victor, taxiing out to runway 5 via Bravo, Adirondack.
Adjust masks,
So we do have some traffic here.
straps, and breathe normally.
Correction, taxiing via Charlie.
Prior to assisting others with their masks.
Sign said Bravo, the taxi chart says Charlie.
Located at the right side
And
of the
CTXCB,
to open the emergency
subscription for 13 months and counting. Thank you so much for that.
turn the handle in the clockwise
And the Thunder, of course.
top of the emergency exit inward, lifting the base out of the opening and into the cabin. Discard the emergency exit overboard. Exit the cabin by stepping through the
Alright, so
to the wing.
gonna finish up the briefing. Oh, we do want to get our terrain and weather radar on.
Main entry door, which
So there's weather on the
may also be used
display number 1. Let's get the terrain on
Adirondack traffic, Sky Gateway 2
display
Echo
number
Echo,
2.
downwind runway 5, Adirondack.
paddle located
We got somebody in the pattern. Okay, so we got to be careful.
Pull down on the inner handle approximately 90 degrees. Push the door open and lower the stairs. to
Adirondack citation 514 Delta Victor will be short of runway 5, awaiting IFR release Adirondack.
near your seat
I thought I recognized that call sign and voice.
and remove the vest.
Mr. Meadowline.
The life vest.
No worries.
Wrap the strap around your waist. Buckle and tighten the strap. For children, wrap the belt around
Alright,
the
back over onto our control frequency. Let them know that we are ready.
Inflate the life vest after exiting the plane by pulling downward on both red tabs. If the life vest fails to inflate,
Center citation 514 Delta Victor, short of runway 5, Adirondack ready.
attach to the vest.
November 514 Delta Victor, Roger, you are released for departure. The time now is 0110, clearance void at 0120. Advise for this frequency, if not airborne, by 0125. Report airborne on this frequency and change to advisory as approved.
Alright, released if, airborne by 20 after, and frequency change of advisors approved. Report airborne 514 Delta Victor.
Boston
Alright.
Center, November.
Back over to 22.8. Let's wait for one more report from the aircraft in the pattern. Now, he was on downwind when we switched off, so he's probably turning to base now or thereabouts. Probably means we'll just wait for him to do one more
Adirondack
circuit.
traffic, Sky Gateway 2 Echo Echo, left base, runway 5, touch and go, Adirondack.
Adirondack traffic, citation 514 Delta Victor, short of runway 5, and we'll hold for the touch and go. Adirondack. Alright, we said we'd be airborne by 20 after, and I think we're going to be a couple minutes early. CTXTV says, how you doing? Finding it harder and harder to attend. Still sub to support one of the only flight simmers that isn't incredibly boring. Well, thank you very much for the kind words, CTXTV. It's always good to hear from you, man. I know we're on a little late for you over there in the UK, but appreciate having you stop by.
Adirondack traffic, Sky Gateway 2 Echo Echo, final runway 5, left traffic on the go, Adirondack.
Now, so he's going left traffic, and we are straight out and then a right turn out, so I think we're going to be fine. Straight out to 4, I think is what we said, was when we can start turning. I did put that point in, but I think that's just kind of a helper. We'll do it in heading mode, and then we'll turn when we get to that minimum prescribed altitude, which I think was, Yeah, 4,000. 049er to 4,000. So see if we can. There he is. Perfect timing. Looked like a nice approach too, Lee. Adirondack Citation 514 Delta Victor lining up runway 5, and we'll hold for the traffic in the pattern. Adirondack. Strobes, landing lights. We'll engage Toga, although that only engages the flight director, does not engage the throttles. There is no auto throttle in the CJ4, so the plane won't roll until we throttle it up. Okay, then we're on runway 5. Heading bug is
Adirondack
consistent.
traffic, Sky 12 Echo, Echo, left crosswind, runway 5, Adirondack.
Adirondack Citation 514 Delta Victor departing runway 5, be IFR southbound and a right turn out. Adirondack. Okay. Temps and pressures all looking good. Engines responding normally and symmetrically. We'll go ahead and pop it all the way forward into takeoff. Remember, 110 and 140 are our action speeds. 109 and 118, I think it was emergency speeds. We won't need them, we know that. It's 110's the rotate. Pitch to 140. Gear coming up. Yeah, we do know that the GPWS warnings on the second departure are a bug.
Don't sink.
We can't ignore.
Don't sink. Don't
Pitch to
sink.
140. Get to 4,000 on the 054. There we go. Now we can start the right turn. Flaps can come up. We'll go from takeoff to climb. Somebody trying to send us a message. We'll check on that in just a moment.
Yield after Millinocket.
The Millinocket will proceed to yield, correct. Just at one.
Chassis 21, roger.
Alright, let's get the heading bug spun around. Let's go into autopilot. Heading. Light level change. And 240. Center Citation 514 Delta Victor 6,900 going to 17,000.
Boston, say again, 5 will go up, you'll cut up.
November 5 Lima Golf, descend and maintain 2,000.
2,005 will go up.
November 514 Delta Victor, radar contact, climb and maintain 17,000.
17,000, 514 Delta Victor. Alright, let's get direct to cam. Execute. And LNAV.
Eastern 473, descend and maintain flight level 230.
We are in climb. Let's do a couple of post checks here. Make sure that I didn't forget
American
anything.
2131 at Goshi, clear ILS, runway 4 right approach.
See, we are in climb mode. The flaps are up. The gear is up. Autopilot is in the desired modes. We're flight level change for 240. Okay, I think we are good. Let's see who was pinging us. Oh, we got the screenshot from our friend Lee.
Center Delta 49 is passing 1,000 for 5,000.
Just as we were rolling on the runway there. Very cool. Thank you, sir.
489 Boston Center radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 340.
My very dirty windows, says Lee. Yeah, indeed. We're through 10,000. We can get the logo and landing lights off.
7,000. Cathay 43 Boston Center. Climb and maintain flight level 330.
Slight level change 240, so we're slightly above the prescribed speed. Okay, it's pitching up now.
My weather just updated. Request runway 5.
All right, 5. 855, Golf Roger, expect runway
We can,
5 and just remain on that heading.
Okay, sorry about the trouble.
That's no problem.
We can advance the right display, MFD
November
advance.
123, you can also expect runway 5.
There we go.
Wind is 020 at 10, gust, correction, 030 at
How do you
19,
engage
gust
toga?
27.
It's the blank button right underneath the fire warning here. But again, that's just the flight director that goes into toga mode. The throttle's separate.
November 123, expect runway 5.
Throttle you got to do manually, but the flight director going into toga is that button there right underneath the fire warning.
5?
Yes, expect runway 5 and just remain on your present heading. Don't change your heading. Just stay on your present heading, sir.
Alright, we can
Keep current heading, runway
declutter
5.
a couple charts here. Let's see.
Walker 951, contact New York Center.
We are done. I'll tell you what, we're probably done with that, but we'll hold on to it. Sky Vector we'll hold on to. We'll hold on to the list of when, you know, we don't know for sure what approach we're doing at Bradley, so we'll leave that up there.
Correction, November 6542 Victor. Number 6542 Victor, fly heading 010 and descend and maintain 3000. 010.
I think the flight director just pitches up 20 degrees, I'm pretty sure. I always pitch to 140 knots and then pull the flaps in. But I believe it just commands a 20-degree pitch up. All right, so we're at our cruise. We're going to leave the throttles and climb until we get up to 300 knots. Then we'll stabilize. We'll manually throttle down and stabilize the speed at 300.
Boston Center, good evening. Walker 1108, 1100, climbing Viva Lumen 2.
CT says, yeah, it's 2:15 here for a short time. You'll be starting an hour earlier, right? Because we switch into summer or out of summer at a different time than you do. Okay, let's throttle down now. Get the 300. Let's keep it. Yeah, so I know there's a discrepancy in when we switch in and out of our summertime or daylight savings, whichever our respective country call it. What else are we going to say? Yeah, so that was your point. The whole world should just switch to Greenwich Mean Time and be done with this. Let's pick a 5-string. I don't disagree. And, well, maybe yes or no on that, possibly. But pick a 5-string. I am a staunch advocate of abolishing daylight savings. It serves no real purpose anymore. It's a silly tradition.
1 Tango Sierra, expect the ILS runway 4 right approach.
ILS 4 right, 1 Tango Sierra. Any chance for 4 laps?
November 1 Tango Sierra.
So Stella ends at this point. Tomes, no matter what.
You're looking for 4 laps. I can try to coordinate it for you.
Just quicker to taxi to G8F.
November 1 Tango Sierra. Okay, I can see if I can make that work. Expect a visual approach, runway 4 left.
Okay, we'll expect visual 4 left, taxi 1 Tango Sierra.
Center low, Lufthansa 422 Bubble 360 at 25 miles northeast of the
All right, let's rebrief the weather at Bradley, see if anything has changed there significantly.
Reset transponder and squawk 4601.
So CT says it more accurately. I'm an advocate of having daylight all year round. I'd like to save daylight in the winter months too. Yeah, no, I do think that if we once we abolish it, I think we ought to just stay in. We should stay in GMT -4 here in the east. That's my opinion anyway.
1657 with you.
Yeah, sir, you're going totally the wrong way. I don't know where you're headed. What's your next waypoint? American 1657, turn left.
010 at 5, so runway 6 probably okay. 2983 is the altimeter there. We can we can't preset that, can we? Because we're still on standard.
Immediately southbound for traffic.
Turning left immediately, American 16.
So we'll see what we get, but ILS 6 seems appropriate, and we'll get ready to do that just in case. And then I don't think I have.
1657, stop your climb at 5,000.
And then if we're going to TAC air, roll, yeah, land on 6, right turn off, and we should be fine. So.
American 1657, you really put me in a bad spot here. I really need you to listen to me. Maintain 5,000.
Maintain 5,000, American 1657.
Delta 1023, Boston Center, climb and maintain flight level 210.
Flight level 210, Delta 1023.
You got to get my bucket out and save that sunlight, says people.
Are you still with me?
I am. I had a blip.
6542 Victor, reset transponder, squawk 4722.
4722, 42 Victor.
Sounds like a few aircraft out there had a blip or two.
Boston Center, good evening, Chapter 30 for 12 at the ground on Baker, ready to go.
See, we did make it up to cruise. We can turn seatbelts off.
Fly runway heading, runway 33, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading, runway 23, clear for takeoff, Chapter 30 for 12.
American 1657, fly heading 090.
We'll go ahead and do that fuel balance.
090, American 1657.
So the right side's heavier than the left because we were sitting on the ramp just running the number 2 for power. So we're going to just kind of transfer some fuel over to the right to rebalance those. Hopefully I won't forget. A lot of times I've just allowed to leave that crossfeed on and then we'll just shift it back and forth the rest of the flight. Hopefully that won't happen. We do need to...
For you, I've already got the airport. It's like you can cancel my IFR.
6542 Victor, okay, your IFR cancellation is received. Make straight in for runway 6.
Do need to get an approach assignment. CTXCB says the worst thing about switching is that each time zone does it at a different time, so there's this weird staggered time slip that moves from east to west. I don't think that's the worst thing. I think the worst thing is losing that hour of sleep as you move the clocks ahead. I mean, you know, realistically, okay, we'll just go to bed earlier. It's not that easy.
Try again.
You know, you're in habits that are primarily automatic at that point.
Yeah, I can't really hear you too good on the ground there. Are you looking for an IFR? Looking for an IFR.
You gain the hour back in November, yeah, but in the springtime when I'm already sleep deprived, it doesn't do me any good. Tell my body to just store it. The extra hour in November, I'll just sleep that extra hour and then I'll store it for spring.
Okay, I can't hear you too good on the ground in Brunswick. Just call me when you're in the air. I'll give you a code, okay? Call you in there.
We got about 20 more pounds.
Boston Center, November 123, downwind, runway 05.
November 123,
after final approach.
Instructions for you momentarily. November 855, Lima Golf, 5 miles from Cusco, maintain 2000 until established on the localizer, clear ILS runway 5 approach.
2000 until established, clear ILS runway 5 from Golf.
China Eastern is 473, descend via the Roebuck 3 arrival, runway 4 right, Boston altimeter 2988.
Still got about 12 pounds extra on the left. You know, again, I'm being way more particular about this than I need to be. It's just...
JetBlue 3412, stay altitude.
Just get stuffed at Thanksgiving, then stuffed at Christmas, and then hibernate until after daylight savings is in effect. Now you're thinking.
Turn left direct KC.
Follow 360, direct KC for JetBlue 3412.
Oh, we got a Bradley ground on. Oh, and so you know what? We might actually have an ATIS at Bradley. We do. All right, cool. Well, while we're waiting for those last couple of pounds.
Boston Center, November 123, waiting for your instructions.
Oh, CTXCB.
You're waiting for instructions, and I need you to keep waiting. I told you I'll tell you when I have instructions for you.
So we're balanced.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and check the ATIS information at Bradley.
Discretion to maintain flight level 240.
Pilot discretion 240, transit 25.
Information Kilo 020 at 5.
Jazz
2983.
Clear the RNAV runway 2, Chris runway 33 approach.
6 and 33 in use. Expect ILS runway 6. Okay, perfect. So that's what we programmed in. We can actually go ahead and start briefing that. What was it, Kilo? Say no to Kilo.
November 514 Delta Victor, cross Stella at a maintain 1000, Bradley altimeter 2983.
It's Stella 11000, 2983. We got information Kilo at Bradley.
514 Delta Victor, Roger. Did you have a particular approach you were looking for?
They say ILS 6 is in use. It sounds good with us.
4 Delta Victor, expect it.
All right, so Stella.
November 1 Tango Sierra, descend and maintain 3000.
To maintain 3001 Tango Sierra.
Is that too many zeros? Yeah, it is.
Center Delta 292 Heavy.
How about that many zeros?
7000 direct man.
Delta 292, Boston Center, climb and maintain, flight level
Okay,
210.
so that means we were cleared down to 11 also.
292 Heavy.
And we can engage VNAV.
November 123, turn left heading 090.
Turn left 090, November 123.
November 855, Lima Golf, runway 5, clear to land, wind 030 at 19, gust 27.
Roger, wind was runway 5, clear to land, 5 Lima Golf.
Bradley ground is 21.9. Doesn't look like there's anybody else on in between, so we'll get ready to switch over to ground when we get there. ILS 6. So after.
Good evening, Virgin 25 Bravo Heavy is flight level 400.
So let's go ahead and start briefing that.
November 6542 Victor, welcome to Bradley. I do need you to squawk the appropriate code on the ground there, 4722. And contact Bradley ground on 121.9er.
First of all, we'll check through the legs. We did put in the point from Penna, just in case we needed it. Penna, Janet, Honey, and Jetix. And then the mist is 4,000 to BAF VOR. So let's double check the legs.
1015 Boston Center, would you
Stella.
like us to contact New York?
Yeah, we know there's a discontinuity before Penna. That's normal. Penna at 3,000.
November 123. Do you
Janet
have the airport
24.
at 12 o'clock and 7 miles?
Honey at 18. Jetix at, well, Jetix isn't in there.
I didn't see the airport.
And then
Okay,
BAF
at your 12 o'clock
at
and 7 miles. Let me know when you have it in sight.
4,000. Okay. So that's all.
7 miles. Thank you.
That's all correct.
Boston Center, good evening, Virgin.
Controller's got his hands full. Yeah, Boston always does.
Virgin 25 Bravo, Boston Center.
Boston always does.
4604.
So legs are good.
4604, Virgin 25 Bravo.
Let's go ahead and get our approach
November 1 Tango Sierra,
performance
fly
done.
heading 310 and descend and maintain 2000.
2000 heading 3101 Tango Sierra.
Approach. What did they say the temperature was there? 10?
JetBlue 1015, cross Calverton and maintain 12000.
19 and 11, we'll send it.
Kennedy altimeter 2984.
Cross and maintain Calverton, what flight level?
Frequency and course.
12,250 knots.
Should auto set, but we're going to double check 111.1 and 058. So we'll just make a note of those. They should auto set though. Minimums.
Antenna 400, Virgin 25 Bravo.
November 1 Tango Sierra, fly heading 020 and advise the airport site.
020 airport.
Straight in ILS 373. So we can only set to the nearest 10, so we'll go 380. You can always round them up. You cannot round them down. 380.
Passing 2000, American 219. 319 is radar contact. Climb and maintain 51400. 430, American 219. November 1 Tango Sierra, contact Boston Tower on 128.8.
380 is set.
Boston Tower 11288.
Field elevation there is 173.
41, contact New York Center on 125.32.
New York Center 12532, American Center 141. Yeah.
China Eastern 473 at Goshi, clear ILS, runway 4 right approach.
We did note the
ILS 4 right approach. China Eastern 473.
wind is 020 at 8, so we will have a very slight left to right. And we got few clouds at 5,500, so we should be in good shape with respect to runway visibility. But we'll note that we're on an ILS just in case we need it for visibility purposes. We'll be fine. Yeah, CTXCB. Said something naughty, but no worries. You're of course still welcome in the chat. Just try to remember to keep it family friendly. No big deal. No big deal.
1000, transit 25.
Boston Center, Endeavor 1672, what is it, 15 to 17? Endeavor 1672, Boston Center, call
I think we're set with the approach briefing then. Let's just run through it again real quick.
1015, contact New York Center on 125.32.
125.32 for JetBlue 1015.
Oh, I'll tell you what, the other thing we can do.
Runway 33, clear to land, the wind 030 at 17, gust 27.
We'll go on the seatbelts back on, and we'll get the
Airport inside, November 123.
we'll get the passenger briefing down. Tense Diamond with the follow as well. All right, passenger briefing. Again, on the second flight, you have to select the stuff twice. It's just a little bit of a bug. Whoops, this knob here. So we'll select the landing, unselect it, reselect it. There we go.
Air Canada 1123 with you.
A little bit of a bug. First flight, it works fine. Second and subsequent, you just have to select those twice for whatever reason. Not a big deal.
Actually, that's not going to work very direct flight. Air Canada 1123 heavy, climb and maintain, level 380.
All right, let's run through that approach briefing again. Legs were checked. Missed approach was, I think, 3,000. Is that correct? 4,000. 4,000's missed approach on a left turn. Frequency course 111058. Minimums are set. Winds a very slight left to right. Ceiling is about 5,500. Missed approach 3,000. Turn off and taxi route. It's a left if we go missed to 3,000. The right if we make it down successfully. All right, so we're good. The approach briefing is complete. Logo and landing lights.
And all aircraft Boston Center will be right back.
Yeah, not yet. We don't need to do that until we're through 10. And we're just about ready to capture that glide slope, and we do need to. This is where it says, you know, we got that descend across earlier, and we didn't need to descend yet. Now we're starting to descend, so as soon as he's back, we need to just let him know that we've started to do that. So we're going to go ahead and throttle to about 50% as the aircraft captures that VNAV. Pitch it for, yeah, we'll throttle it for about 280. As soon as Josh calls that he's back, we'll let him know that we've started down. Go ahead and center up the heading bug just in case we need it. What was our refs again?
Delta 1023 to
18 and 11.
Arrival, runway 4 right, Boston altimeter 2982. Heavy the Roebuck 4 right, 2982, Delta 1023.
Center 5 and 4 Delta Victor, just as you stepped away, left 17,000 for 11,000 at Stella.
Center 514 Delta Victor, rider, descend and maintain, 5,000.
5,000, 5 and 4 Delta Victor. All right, clear down to 5.
Air Canada 7222, Boston Center, climb and maintain, flight level 390. That'll be your final altitude direction flight.
We'll watch, gotta watch the speed. We're doing 280 to 10 and then 240 down the rest of the way. Make sure there's no speed restrictions on the arrival. I don't believe there are. Yeah, no speeds published.
221, second.
With a pilot with a moderate to light wind shear loss of 20 knots between 3,000 and 2,000 feet.
Jazz 221, fire up, receive, thanks.
Getting ready to come through 10 will just be a couple steps ahead. Logo and landing lights. I think we did the passenger briefing already. So we're good. So we need to hit the brakes here. Coming through 10, we need to hit the brakes and Get her down to about 240. And then really, once we get into the terminal area, we want to slow it to 210. So we might even just need to take it straight down to 210 at this point.
Whiskey Tango Bravo Alpha 716. En route to Rockland.
Last aircraft going, say call sign.
Whiskey Tango Bravo Alpha 716.
Okay, I don't have any aircraft that's by that call sign. I have an aircraft off VUF 716. Is that you?
Roger that.
Okay, what is your call sign?
I apologize. This is my first flight.
It's no problem, sir. I just need to know what your call sign is so that I can tag you up.
VUF 716.
Bravo, Uniform Foxtrot 716, Roger, squawk 4623.
Squawk
so slowing through 10, we'll get it down to 240. We're just going to keep the speed coming down to 210.
Foxtrot 716.
Jazz 221, turn right when able, and contact ground point 9.
And we just need to see after tomes. I think after tomes, we can probably just keep it into heading mode, actually. And we should be expecting vectors here any moment.
Delta 489, contact New York Center 125.32.
125.32, Delta 489 to 526.
Should be heading straight towards the
514 Delta Victor, turn right heading 180 vectors to final.
180, 54 Delta Victor.
And 4 Delta Victor, descend and maintain 3000.
3000, 54 Delta Victor.
Delta, Crescent Lufthansa 422, descend at pilot's discretion, maintain flight level 240. Discretion on the 240, Lufthansa 222.
November 123, clear up runway 5. Request taxi to ramp.
Alright, so at this point we're just...
123, Roger, taxi to parking via Mike Bravo.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry too much about what's in the... yeah, we'll just tell it with direct penna. That's fine. It's not really what's going to happen, but... At least it'll stop it from yelling us. Stop it from yelling about the discontinuity.
Mike, cross runway 16.
Brickyard 306, Boston Center, Roger.
And I'm going to take it out of VNAV and just put it into vertical speed now.
Delta 292, descend via the road.
Since we're not really on any prescribed lateral path, doesn't make sense for us to be on a prescribed vertical path either.
Delta 1023 at Goshi, quit ILS, runway 4 at approach.
We can use the
ILS 4 right, Delta 1023.
Use the arc to predict when we're going to be at 3000.
Uniform Foxtrot 716 is radar.
We can actually increase the descent just a little bit.
East of the Portland Jetport. Maintain VFR. The altimeter is 2985.
2985. Bravo Uniform Foxtrot 716.
All right, we can confirm now 11110 is about to populate in. And again, what we're flying is not what's actually on the FMC. We're getting vectored by the controller onto this final approach course. So the fact that we're not exactly on that, we're not exactly following the top of descent, we're not exactly following that magenta line is not a big deal. We're getting vectored and stepped down by the controller, so that may or may not match up with what's in that.
Lufthansa 422, descend via the Ocean 5 arrival for runway 4 right. The Boston altimeter
May or not match up with what's in the computer at this point. Smitty says, "I assume Senator knows he's in stream." More than likely he does. Smitty, he knows who I am. Not following the magenta line is your modus operandi, says 407 Simmer. Yes, that is actually correct. Although we are definitely slant limit today. Sir Skidmore re-upping that subscription. That's an 8-month streak. One more month, you get that 3/4 coin there going, sir. And they are going well. This is a beautiful airplane to fly. Even though it's slant Lima and not slant Alpha, it's a beautiful airplane to fly. So can't complain, sir. Can't complain. Zoomed in 1. Yeah, we're not quite ready to zoom in that close. Might just leave it where it is.
Canadian Express 556, squawk 4762.
4762, Canadian Express 556.
Delta 292 at Goshi, cleared ILS, runway 4 right approach.
At Goshi, cleared ILS 4 right approach.
We can see we got the diamonds for the ILS.
Endeavor 1672, descend via the robust
Kind of keeping it 210 now. We're going to get ready to step it down to 170 as we get closer to this intercept. I think it might actually be time to go ahead and do that.
And Delta.
We're going to slow the descent just a little bit. That'll help us slow down. We're going to pull the throttles all the way back down. And get under 200. We'll pop out the first notch of flaps.
And Delta 1023, sorry, just maintain 210 knots or greater until advised. Until advised, sorry, Delta 1023. China Eastern 473, contact Boston Tower on 128.8.
128.8, China Eastern 473, Avi, so long.
Bravo, Uniform, Foxtrot, 716. Need you to remain
flying right over the house says
Ickbin
Flow. Ickbin, how are you? Welcome back to the stream. Good to see you back here. And we wave as we pass over. Skidmore's doing some A319 flying tonight. Got an airliner itch every month or so to scratch. Yeah, I got you.
Altitude.
Oh, ski sundown over to the left.
4 Delta Victor, descend and maintain 2,500.
2,500, 5-4 Delta Victor. Probably, yep, probably that right there. $25.
November 514 Delta Victor, turn left heading 090 and intercept the localizer.
090, intercept localizer, 5-4 Delta Victor. Now, guys can start putting in your predictions as to the vertical descent rate upon touchdown. No bot command is necessary for that. Just a number into the chat, positive or negative. We know you mean a descent rate either way. Closest predictor gets an automatic entry into Saturday's drawing.
Checks, maintain 360, Canadian 556.
We're essentially direct, honey. We'll go ahead and tell the FMC that's what we're doing. It's not exactly correct.
4 Delta Victor is 4 miles from Janid. Maintain 2,500 until established on the localizer. Clear ILS runway 6 approach.
2,500 until established. Clear ILS 6 approach. 5-4 Delta Victor. Approach mode arms. Keep 170 until Jetix.
Boston Center, good evening, JetBlue 1418, 3000 for 17,000, direct American.
JetBlue 1418, Boston Center, climb and maintain, flight level 210.
210.
Yeah, keep those predictions coming. Jetix 5-mile final is the last call. Or no, we'll make hey, we'll make the 500 call the last call, but that means hopefully it'll appear in chat before the touchdown actually occurs.
Montreal is closed, radar service terminated, frequency change approved.
The 500 call being the last call for those predictions. Keep them coming. Just a number to the chat, positive or negative. No bot command is necessary. And our drawing for October is going to happen on Saturday morning, guys, across the pond day.
Boston Center, Cessna November 123. Thanks for your help, and have a good day.
November 123, thanks for flying. We'll see you next time.
All right, there we go. It's switched us over to approach mode. It's going to capture the localizer. We're going to keep 170 to a 5-mile final. We're at a 9.6-mile final now.
And for Delta 1023, maintain 170 knots.
We're about to capture the glide slope. As soon as we do that, oh, it's just now told us it's done that.
Over to tower 288, Delta 1023.
As soon as we can see that we're descending on glide slope.
1672 at Goshi, clear ILS runway 4 right approach.
Goshi cleared for the ILS 4 right, number 1672.
It's Price is Right still? No, it's not.
Delta 292, if I didn't give it ready, you're cleared the ILS runway 4.
Ickman, I'm controlling Dulles Tower, so I won't be talking to you, but
Cleared ILS.
I hope that you enjoy your flight.
Maintain 210
we are descending on glide, so gear comes out. Missed approach altitude of 4,000 can be set. Keeping 170 to 5.
November 514 Delta Victor to wind 020 at 5, runway 6, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 6, 54 Delta Victor. So yeah, Dulles will be launching about 130 slotted aircraft. I think we got a west tower and an east tower, so I'll probably be responsible for about half of them. Should be a fun day. Coming up on 6 mile final. Okay. What was it 118 and 111?
JetBlue 1418,
yep.
quarter right Proby.
Proby, JetBlue 1418.
5 miles. Flaps 2 coming out.
Boston
Slow,
Center,
slow to 118.
1220 out of Boston, climbing 2,000 for 5.
Southwest 1220, Boston Center, radar contact, common maintain, flight level 300.
Common maintain, flight level 300, Southwest 1220.
Virgin 25, Bravo.
Last call, guys. Last call for the
240.
last call for the predictions. All right, 118 knots. Let's keep it for now. Then we'll go to 111.
Bravo, cross freight at
Autopilot's off. My airplane. Flaps 2 set and checked. Gears down in green. We are cleared to land. Right-hand turn off if we make it down. Left to 4,000 if we do not.
Boston Center, hello, Air Canada 216.
Landing checks complete. Let's put this thing down on the ground, guys. 18, and then we'll slow it down to 111.
Air Canada 216, Boston Center, squawk 4645. All right, 4645.
111, let's keep it.
Endeavor 1672. At Goshi, clear
a little
left
fast
runway
now.
4 at approach and do not exceed 210 knots.
Minimum.
And we'll.
We are continuing.
For Endeavor 1672.
Bravo Uniform Foxtrot 716. You can begin your VFR descent whenever you like, and just advise when you have the Knox County Airport in sight.
A little hilly runway here, guys.
Buffalo Uniform Foxtrot 716. Beginning descent.
Spoilers are out.
Let you know when field is in sight.
Air Canada 216 is radar contact 4.
Not as nice as the first one, but I was pretty happy with it. But did float it. Did get a little fast on final and did end up floating. But overall happy with the general execution of the approach. Hotel looks like our next turn off if the diagram is accurate. Looks like
Boston Center, Delta 2548 Heavy, with you, flight level 350.
yeah, I can't tell if
Delta
this is the one that's
2548,
marked as
Boston
closed.
Center, 4677.
4677 for Delta 2548 Heavy.
Delta 292, maintain 170 knots or greater until Milt, and contact Boston Tower on 128.8.
Maintain 170 or greater.
Yeah, not sure that the taxiway letters aren't matching up with the diagram. We are clear. We'll get clean. Flaps and spoilers stowed. Hito heat can come off. The weather radar can come off. Terrain radar can come off.
Delta 2548 is radar contact 57 miles west of Ponset. Maintain flight level 350.
Strobes off and landing lights off. Taxi light on.
Virgin 25 Bravo, did you copy?
And we'll go ahead and switch over.
Yeah, I copied. We're descending at about 5 miles.
Roger.
Bradley ground, citation 514 Delta Victor is clear, runway 6. We think we turned off at hotel, but we might have turned off at the one that's marked closed on the charts. Kind of hard to tell.
November 514 Delta Victor, Bradley ground. Good evening. I do see you at hotel. Where are you parking this evening?
I want TAC Air, please.
All right, taxi to the TAC Air via Charlie Echo.
All right, Charlie Echo to TAC Air, 514 Delta Victor. All right, guys. So that means if he shows us on hotel, that means we turned off the correct one. I'll show you on the diagram in just a moment. You can't rely on the letters that are marked here, I guess. I don't think I saw any letters marked there. And there was a runway 19er that's no longer here. So anyway, we made the right on Charlie. We'll make a left on Echo. And then TAC Air will be down here on the left-hand side. I'll show you on the diagram here in just a moment. We will talk about the winning prediction here in just a second, guys. Just a second. I want to kind of get the taxi and taken care of. So we made it off hotel, Charlie, and Echo, and then TAC Air's over here where it says GA. All right, we will talk about that. Yeah, better learn how to say clear for takeoff. Yeah, we're going to say it a few times, I think. By the end of the stream, hopefully I'll know how to say it. Yeah, we got some big hangars and then GA parking down a little further. Okay. All right, on the taxi end, we got the flaps and spoilers, strobe lights, taxi lights, pitot static off, anti-icing off, and the terrain and weather radar off. All right, I'm just going to assume here this is the TAC Air ramp. Don't really know how well it matches up with what's on the chart, but we'll just make that assumption.
November 514 Delta Victor. Congrats on passing wings IFR 21. Have a great night.
Thank you. You too. 514 Delta Victor. We'll see you. Perfect, guys. Perfect. 2 for 2. And these were 2 that, by the way, if you didn't catch the beginning of the stream, we're doing the Boston Virtual ARTCC Wings over New England training flights, and do in fact need credit for these, even though I've done the program before. The last time I did the program, it went up to 20. It now goes up to 24. So the old 20 became 24. 20, 21, 22, and 23 I need credit for, and I got 20 and 21 knocked out tonight, so that's good. All right, parking brake can come on, taxi light can come off. Let's do a couple of things on the shutdown here, guys, and then we will talk about our winning number. Latin VFR made a great Bradley scenery, says Ickman, for 2020. I would love to check that out, actually, if that's the case. All right, taxi light off, parking brake on. We'll go ahead and shut the number 1 down first. Keep the number 2 running just for now. Nav source can be set back to, we don't have to worry about that. Some stuff here on the shutdown menu that I don't really need to worry about. Refs can be reset. Yep, we know there's no oil pressure. That's normal. Engine's off. Let's see, avionics can go back to dispatch mode. That's down there. Climate control can go off. The engine number 2 can be stopped. And beacon light can come off. And the safety lights can come off as well. We'll go ahead and get up to the tune page. We'll set back to 1200 and turn off the TARA. Check the fuel and the ETA. I had said that our second leg was going to end 10:09 on the ground, 10:14 on the blocks. We are early. We're about 10 minutes early. Took maybe a more direct path than we expected to. That's not bad. We'll take it. Should say about 1,500 pounds left in the tank, so I'm going to say we got in that early. We'll probably have about 1,600 pounds. So probably about 800 pounds per tank. Let's see how we did. Yeah, even a little more than that, almost 900 pounds per tank. So a little early and with a little more fuel than we had planned on, but that's fine. We'll take that. All right, wonderful. Finishing up the shutdown, and then we will talk about our winning number. And we'll see who we're going to raid after this guy. So, logo and landing. Let's see. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, nav and logo lights can come off. The avionics can go back to fully off. We'll hit continue. It's this stupid logbook, which we don't need. The rest of that can all get shut down. And there we are. Let's check her out, guys. It's the beautiful, gorgeous black limo livery for the working title Citation CJ4. And who do we got there with that last minute follow? It's NCC1701 Junior with the follow. You know what? This almost might be like a junior version of the Enterprise that we're looking right here. But very cool of you to check us out. Since it's my home airport, it was the first one I bought in 2020, says Eichmann. Very nice, man. We will definitely check that out then. I don't actually fly up to Bradley here in the sim that often, unfortunately, but I'm a sucker for a good scenery, and I actually have been to Bradley Airport in the real world, which is something I can't say for a lot of places. So, yeah, it'd be nice to have a nice one of those. All right, cool. Let us check on those. Let us check on those winning predictions, guys. The next entrant into our landing rate raffle, the final entrant into our October landing rate raffle, which we will pull the winner of on Saturday morning, is the person who in the chat predicted the closest to 113. Slightly more firm than that first one, but still I thought pretty good. 113 is the winning number. How'd we do? We got predictions of 107.62. I'll tell you what, 107 is not bad, Smitty. You might be the one to beat here. 62, 95, 85, 151, 110, 117 from Forbes. Oh, I think that's going to be the winner, maybe. 117 was 4 away, yes? Good fixins with the $1 Bob, $1 Bob. That's not how it works here, guys. Pence Diamond with the 67. And then Red Warhawk came in late with the 91. Yeah, I think... Yeah, Forbes 02 with the 117 is going to be our closest. Forbes 02, congratulations. If anybody disputes... oh, yes, Sky says Forbes. Okay, very good. Yeah, I thought so. Forbes 02. And that is a KBDL on 10/27. Okay, guys. Forbes 02 gets the entry. Good Fixin's got the entry from our first landing because he got it dead center on, so he got the double entry over there. So congrats to these final entrants into our landing rate raffle, which we're going to draw the winner of on Saturday. Don't forget, both of the raffles on this channel that we do every single month, guys. So those of you who are new to the channel, the Alphabets Points raffle, if you got those points down there at the bottom of the chat panel, if you can cash in 1,000, that gets you 1 entry in. If you get 5,000 saved up, that gets you 6 for the price of 5. If you don't have enough for this Saturday's drawing, don't worry, guys. First of all, we'll let you accumulate those points. We'll do the landing rate raffle first, probably earlier, and we'll do the Alphabets Points raffle later on, just in case there's some folks that are trying to get some last-minute entries in. But if you don't have enough for this month, we always do this raffle at the end of every month. So after the drawing on the 30th, we will reset all the entries. We'll start it all over again for the month of November. So no problem, guys. Again, for those of you new to the stream, the chat panel, the bottom of the chat panel, you got the alphabet serial icon. That's what we call our Twitch channel points on this channel. 1,000 gets you 1 entry, 5,000 gets you 6 entries, and it's that Alphabets Points raffle that we'll pull on the Saturday stream. And then the landing rate raffle, we just got our last 3 entries in tonight for the month of October. Both of those will draw on Saturday morning, and then we'll reset and start all over for the month of November. All right, guys. Appreciate you flying along. This was IFR number 20 and 21 of the Boston Virtual ARTCC Wings over New England flights. So we've got 22, which will be its own stream. We'll be back into the Mooney Ovation for that. And then 23 and 24 in the Mooney will wrap up. So we got 2 more streams after this one that will wrap up that Boston Virtual ARTCC series. The 6 VFR training flights and 24 IFR training flights that they have published on their website. You read through the training material. You'll perform the flight online while there is air traffic control on, and the controller, just based on what they're seeing on the scope, they can determine whether you followed the procedures as you were cleared to them. And so they can't watch in your cockpit. They don't know what buttons you're pushing, but they can just see whether or not you're flying, where you should be, how high you should be, how fast you should be, and in the direction and on the route that you should be. So that's how they evaluate, and then that's how it goes. You heard that the ground controller on the way in just now told us that we passed number 21. So 20 and 21 in the books. 22 and 23 are the last ones I need credit for, and then 1 through 19 and then 24 I already had credit for from when I did this the last time through. So really it's only 2 more flights that we need credit for. All right, awesome guys. I am going to join, says Eric FX. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks again. If you want to know what's coming up on the stream on the short term, we typically fly for you on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, we are off schedule this week because of Across the Pond on Saturday. But if you want to know what's coming up on the show on the short term, it's always good to follow us on either Facebook or Twitter. Slant Alpha on both of those. If you want to jump in on the discussion, it's over on our Discord server, bottom right. And if you said anything in the chat and I missed anything that you said, you can certainly hit us up on our Discord server. I do a lot of hand flying, so I do tend to fall behind in the chat sometimes. It is not at all personal. But go ahead and hit us up on our Discord server if you had any questions that I didn't get to tonight. If you did have questions in the chat, hopefully our stream regulars were good to you and answered as many as they could. But yeah, pop over in that Discord, even if you were just popping in to say hi. Love to have you there. And if you want to see the full show schedule, by the way, it's down there underneath the About tab. It's also published on our Facebook and on our Discord. So coming up in the short term on the show, like we said, we've got a couple of really cool things coming up. So I do want to bring your attention to that Saturday morning stream. Friday night we are going to be off because we're controlling bright and early on Saturday. So there's no Friday 7 p.m. stream this week. We'll be here Saturday, 6:45 a.m. for the Cross the Pond eastbound departures out of Dulles International Airport. We're controlling the tower cab there. We'll have the tower view up and running. We'll have the scope view up and running, the ground view up and running. So you can track progress of all of the departures out of Dulles International Airport heading across the North Atlantic for the big, super-duper semi-annual VATSIM blockbuster event. So that gets started bright and early. 6:45 a.m. is when the stream goes live on Saturday, October the 30th. Monday, we got the second anniversary of the Bush League Backcountry Fly-In Series. Some low and slow VFR style flying in the mountains or the dirt strips, gravel strips, grass strips somewhere. We don't really know. But downwindsim.com is the place to go to get all the itinerary details, probably over the weekend. They tend to publish them pretty late before the events take place, but Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time is when that'll take place, and that's presented by our friends Downwind Sim and Melvin Leroy. Again, downwindsim.com is where you want to check out the itinerary. We're hoping to fly that in the JP Logistics 152 mod. However, I've heard that there's some issues with that since the last sim update, so we may have to change up the plan there. So we'll see how that goes. But that's the plan for as of right now. The other one I want to bring your attention to, guys, is a week from Monday. Monday the 8th, we've got another really special day planned. And I'm going to take a moment to talk about it because we're kind of wrapping up a little early. But I do want to take a moment to talk about what we've got coming up on Monday the 8th because it is kind of a special one. I know I went into it at length at the beginning of the stream, but I'll tell you again because I really want you to know about it. First and foremost, it's our 2,000 follower extravaganza. So you know we're going to have lots of giveaways and we're going to have something super duper special. Bigger than that, though, it is our chance to join in on the World Flight 2021. World Flight is a huge VATSIM charity event that happens every year. And it's a dozen teams from around the world that all have full-scale airliner cockpits that they fly on VATSIM nonstop for 1 week. Okay? They start and end in Sydney, Australia. They do this route eastbound this time, at least. But they start and end in Sydney, Australia. They fly nonstop for a week. Each of the teams has multiple crews, so it's not one crew flying for a week nonstop. They do rotate the crews out every couple of legs, or every leg sometimes even. So I don't know. Each team kind of has their own way as far as how they figure out which crew is doing what. But it is multiple crews, so they do rotate crews. But the sim itself flies around the world nonstop for 1 week. Each of the 12 teams, 12 or so, I don't think it's exactly 12, each of the dozen or so teams solicits donations on their live stream, and each of them has their own charity that they fly for. I think a couple of the Australian teams collect money for the Royal Flying Doctors program. I know that SimFest UK, whose website we're looking at now, they last year collected money for a charity in the UK that is there to help mental health crises and suicide prevention in the UK. And the Team USA usually collects for the All Children's Hospital down in St. Petersburg, Florida. Now, Team USA, I was actually going to be down there with them for World Flight this year, and they unfortunately can't do their in-person gathering because of the COVID travel restrictions. And many of the team members, even though it's the USA team, many of the team members are, in fact, Canadian, so they can't come down for it this year. So we're flying along with them virtually. And by the way, when I say a dozen teams participate, a dozen official teams participate, and then probably another 4 or 5 dozen fly along just for the fun of it. So World Flight tends to be this mass mob of like anywhere between 30 and 60 aircraft following in a giant line for a week. On Monday the 8th, we are going to join them for legs 10 through 16. So Vancouver to San Francisco, then Denver, then Chicago, then New York, then Jacksonville, and then Acapulco, Mexico. So I'm going to be flying along with them for those 6 legs, starting bright and early, like 4 something in the morning on Monday the 8th, and we're going to fly until 11 something at night for those 6 legs along with World Flight. So 2 things are going on. Because it's our 2,000 follower extravaganza, we recently crested 2,000 followers on this Twitch live stream, which is incredible to me. But for our purposes, number 1, each of the landings is going to garner somebody a prize from the Slant Alpha Prize Vault. We never even talked about the Slant Alpha Prize Vault. That's the 2 drawings that we do on Saturday. Each of the winners gets their choice of any of the items you see here, any one of the items that you see here. But on Monday the 8th, each landing, the closest predictor is going to get one of these items here. So 6 giveaways from the prize vault on the landings. And in addition to that, we're going to be collecting donations on our stream for the Animal Allies Rescue Foundation. Is going to be our charity just for Monday the 8th. Obviously, we're not going to collect nearly as much as if we were flying for the entire week. But on Monday the 8th, any donations received by the Slant Alpha stream are going to the Animal Allies Rescue Foundation here in Baltimore, Maryland. It's the rescue agency, all-volunteer rescue agency, pet rescue agency that brought us 2 out of our 3 furry co-pilots. And it's an all-volunteer program that helps to find new homes for displaced pets in the Baltimore region. So that's going to be our charity of choice just for those 6 legs. By the way, everyone who donates at least $10 on that Monday is eligible for 1 grand prize, which is a Flight Sim Expo 2021 t-shirt. So anybody who donates $10 or more on Monday the 8th is eligible for that drawing that we'll do once we get up to cruise on that 6th and final leg. So lots and lots of fun giveaways to deal with coming up in the next couple of weeks here. Iowa Scotsman is due a couple of raffle tickets. We'll put that in real quick. Eric says, do you know what the VATSIM countdown on Twitter is for? Eric, I have no idea. Cross the Pond is on Saturday. I'm assuming it's that. But I don't know. If you tell me how many hours and days and whatever it is, I can probably help you narrow it down. But VATSIM Cross the Pond starts on Saturday. I'm assuming it's that. That tends to be kind of the big blockbuster event. We got CTXCB gets 6 raffle tickets, and Iowa Scotsman gets 2. So let's go ahead and get those in. There you go. There you go. All right, guys. Well, I think I've given you enough. We talked about the Facebook. We talked about the Twitter. Talked about the Discord. At 3,000 followers, I assume we all get a free car. Well, we'll see, man. I don't know about all get a free car. You get a free pretend plane ride, perhaps. Phase Frank in there with the follow. Gonna have to do World Flight at my own time and pace as Iowa Scotsman. Yeah, indeed. Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, the last thing I wanted to talk about is that YouTube channel down there on the lower left-hand side. That's where we have all of our old Flight Sim broadcasts archived. We also have the Boston Virtual ARTCC Wings Over New England demo series that this stream is going to get added to that playlist. We're almost all the way through that entire series. If you're thinking about doing those, but you want to see a demo of how they are done, that playlist is over there. We've also got a whole bunch of VATSIM tutorials. If you're getting antsy about maybe getting onto the VATSIM network, but you need help figuring out what to say to controllers or how to put routes together, what these slant codes mean, slant lima, slant alpha, all this stuff that we talk about. If you want to know what all that means, if you want to know how to read a VFR sectional, I'm trying to think of a couple of the other ones. We got flight time and fuel estimates that we do on this channel. I explained to you how I do those. So there's some decent tutorials you can check out over there on that VATSIM tutorials playlist on our YouTube channel. The other thing that is up, a brand new series that we just started, and I kind of botched this second one, but we do have what we call the Friday Night Ops Preview, the FNO Preview. Friday Night Hotspot FNO Preview Show. So we do have a demo flight up for Phoenix to Houston for this Friday's Friday Night Ops event on VATUSA. VATUSA.net if you want to see the FNO calendar. But what we had intended to do, and what we did live stream on VATUSA's Twitch channel, was a panel discussion among the staff that organized that FNO event that talked about some of the commonly missed and misunderstood procedures at each of the focus fields, which was a great panel discussion. We just didn't happen to capture the recording of that, unfortunately. So if you caught that live, then you got a really cool discussion and some really good information. Unfortunately, we don't have that in the recording. We only have the demo flight that I did afterwards. We do have the first episode of that up there on our YouTube channel for the B&O Railroad FNO, which we did last Friday. But unfortunately, the panel discussion for this upcoming FNO got lost. But we're still kind of getting the kinks worked out, technically speaking, of that new series that we're going to run. And the next episode of that is scheduled for November the 15th. So a week after World Flight, we're going to do an FNO preview of the 60 hours kickoff FNO right up here in the Boston Virtual ARTCC. So check that out as well. I think that's going to do it for us, guys. I hope that you will have a great rest of your week and that you will join us on Saturday bright and early for Across the Pond. Let's see, who can we send the stream over to? Oh, it looks like our good friend Cleared Approach is doing some air traffic control. He's working, is it the Atlanta? Yeah, he's working Atlanta Center. So if you want to see how air traffic control is done on the VATSIM network, you want to see it from the scope side, of course, you're going to see the tower scope and tower view on Saturday morning. But if you want to see what working a big center sector like Atlanta is like on the network, you can go check out our friend Cleared Approach. Just stick around. We'll go ahead and kick you over to him automatically here. But Will is a real-world Fort Worth Center controller. But he also controls Atlanta Center on the VATSIM network, and that's what he's doing right now for you. He loves, like I do, he loves kind of just talking through what he's doing and explaining the procedures behind it and the theory behind it. So ask any questions you have of Will. He is a fantastic resource. It's great to have real-world controllers working control on VATSIM. Really know what they're doing, really love teaching others and showing off how they do what they do. So do enjoy his stream. Again, Cleared Approach. We'll send you over to him here in just a moment. Do send him the Slant Alpha love when you get there. In the meantime, guys, again, we're off on Friday. We'll catch you Saturday bright and early from the Tower Cab at Dulles International Airport. In the meantime, have a great rest of your week. Be healthy and safe in your own travels and your own adventures in the meantime. And we'll talk to you soon, guys.